What's up, everybody? You are tuned in to the Cris
Emma.
podcast, episode 111. Big Energy Monday. Hope everybody's having a good Monday. We had a
Yep.
little bit of a delay, had to handle some business, but we are here to talk about these sports topics for the Monday slate. All the headlines from NFL, college football, basketball, baseball. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Before we get into
hmm
that, Maul, what is going on, man?
Man, not much, man. Had a good day off yesterday, contemplating whether I'm going to show up tomorrow, but that's another day we'll discuss. But I'm feeling great, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I can't
Yep.
complain. You know,
hmm
my my Royals are in the playoffs.
Yeah, we see that. We see that. They play tomorrow. Yep.
My Chiefs are 4-0. You know what I'm
hmm
saying?
hmm
So
hmm
I'm feeling
Yeah.
good, man. You should be feeling good too. Your Raiders won yesterday, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel good. Now I feel good. You know what I mean? The team played a lot harder. I'm really happy with what I saw. I know we're gonna talk about it a little bit. I'm also
Mhm.
really excited about, NBA training camps open up. So NBA season is here. So I can't I don't have much to complain about. There are some things, Brother Maul has some things he is going to complain about that he is gonna probably go on a long tangent about. Try not to go too long, but overall, should be a good day. Good show.
For sure. Well, let's get into college football, man.
Let's do it.
Now, there was a lot of big games this week, man. A lot of
Yeah.
things were answered this week on a
hmm
lot of teams that were in the top. I would say the top 15. You know, uh,
Top
kicked it
20
off.
overall. I think.
Yeah,
Top
yeah,
25
you're
overall.
right. You're right. Uh, but they kicked it off on Friday. You had Virginia Tech going against Miami Hurricanes. Now we all know the
Mhm.
Hurricanes have been running through people. Cam Ward, and the Heisman hopeful,
Yeah.
has been playing really well this year.
Mhm.
Um, they had a little bit of a test in this game.
Mhm.
Virginia Tech got on them early. Uh, they got a lead on them early, but Miami persevered, got through it, you know, and toughed it out. And at the end, it came down to the wire. Virginia Tech had the ball at the end, throw it up. A little controversial, uh, but the catch, the receiver had the ball in his hands when he at the initial point, and then
Yeah.
when he came down, you saw from the side view the ball was loose. That's how the Miami defender got it and ran out with the ball. And Virginia and Miami ended up pulling it off. Cam Ward had an amazing second half, I would say. His first half was a little shaky, but his second half, he had his Heisman moment when he threw that little shovel pass to the tight end when it
Mm.
looked like Virginia Tech had a chance to sack him. Tight end ended up running at least to like the 1 yard line. And Cam Ward showed, what I'm saying, that he's definitely a top pick in the draft next year as far as a quarterback. He makes NFL throws, and when the chips are all down, he's poised. He's not panicking. He's rallying his team, and he rallied his team and got the W, and they end up winning 38-34. And what was a good, and I think Miami needed this, especially since they've been running through teams. Sometimes you need to get a little taste a little blood in your mouth, taste your own
Mhm.
blood, get punched in your face a little bit,
Yeah.
just to see, okay, we're not invincible. We got some things we need to work on, fellas. We need to get this offensive line right. We need to get, we got to make our routes a little bit better. We need to run these plays a little bit more tighter. So
Mhm.
hopefully this wakes them up to let them know now that you're in, when you go against the Louisville, can't take that one lightly. So,
Yeah.
but shout out to the Hurricanes, man. They pulled it off, and shout out to Cam Ward.
Yeah, we all knew that eventually Miami was going to have, well, they were going to get tested. You know what I'm saying? We knew it wasn't going to be a cupcake season. This time last year, I think they were about in the same position. I think they were undefeated. And then I think that's when their head coach did, some boneheaded calls. And I think that's when their season kind of just went haywire after that. So it's kind of like the irony shows with, what they went through last year and what they learned from last year. And then the experiences that they, were able to put into this game. It just kind of shows the evolution of this team. You know what I mean? Obviously, with the addition of Cam Ward, that obviously helps with the offense. But I really didn't understand all the hoopla with, some people were kind of complaining that, Virginia Tech got holes. You could clearly see the ball was kind of moving. You could clearly see there were players out of bounds touching the ball. I don't
Mhm.
see any kind of controversy with this game. Shout out to Virginia Tech. You know what I mean? Those guys really put on a really good show. I know
Mhm.
Virginia Tech. We're used to Virginia Tech being one of the top pro football programs in the nation. From the days, Marcus Vick, Michael Vick, and all them. With
Tyrod Taylor, all of them,
Tyrod
man.
Taylor, Coach Beamer that used to coach that
Mhm,
team. We used to
mhm,
the atmosphere that Virginia Tech has. So we would love to see that program, get back to its dominance. But
mhm,
hopefully this will be a good stepping stone for them. But overall, man, Miami showed the true heart of as they say of a character. And they're going to need that going into these future games. As I said, you got Louisville coming up, and then you can get past that, and then obviously you got to get to the ACC championship game where we all assume that Clemson's going to be right there willing, and the way Clemson is looking, they are looking very formidable. They're looking like the team that we thought was going to be heading into going into the season. Obviously, with the likes of playing against Georgia, I think that was a tough ask for any team going into their first game, having no preseason games or anything like that. So all the shit talking me and you were doing with Dabo, I know we're gonna probably talk about it a little bit, maybe not too much, but we got to give a little bit of praise to Dabo and what they've been
mhm.
able to accomplish this last couple weeks and how impressive that team has looked. But overall, man, shout out to Miami, man. Well deserved win, and it's only gonna get tougher from here as the schedule goes on.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Minnesota went against number 12 Michigan. They end up losing 27-24.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Michigan, their defense, it was a defensive struggle from the jump, but then Michigan pulled ahead. They were up 21-0 for most of the game, then 28-0. Then Minnesota started kind of coming back a little bit, but I think it was just a little bit too late.
Yeah.
By the time they got close within
Mm-hmm.
24-27, within 3 points, it was just a little bit too late, and Michigan had did enough to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's about that defense and Mullins, the running back. He's amazing.
Yeah.
He had 111 yards. He balled out, and hey man, that Michigan defense is keeping them in games, man, because that
Yeah.
offense ain't that good. Man,
No.
no running backs, man, they'd be bad over there. They would probably be 0-4, 0-5 right now.
Yeah.
So, but hey man, they did what they needed to do to win the game, and it is what it is. Shout out to Minnesota though. They tried to make it a tough game. They, like I said, they pulled in within close. It was like 47 seconds left, but it was just a little bit too late. So
Look, we all got to get accustomed to what this is what a Michigan game, this is what a winning Michigan game is going to look like for the rest of the year. It just is what
mhm,
it is. Like this team offensively, they do have some handicaps, but you do have an explosive quarterback with Orji that's going to elevate that running game. Like we all know, the passing game is not going to be there. It's not like they have top elite wide receiver talent. They've never been known for that. That
mhm,
defense is national championship worthy. We all know that they have the best cornerback in the game today. That's going to come out in this draft and going to be one of the top cornerbacks to be picked, one of the top defensive players to be picked in the draft. So people are just going to have to get accustomed to this. Like Michigan is going to have win low scoring games. This is the highest you're going to see them score is probably about 27. If they do get lucky, maybe 30. But they're going to have to keep every opponent from below 20 and down if they want to have any chance of winning. You know what I mean? So the competition is going to get tough. They do have Ohio State at the end of the year. I think they do play Penn State as well. If I'm not mistaken this year. So they will be battle tested. They do the thing about them is they already have the one loss. So how many more losses can they take to still have the capabilities of being in that 12-team playoff? You know what I mean? Like obviously we got to see how they lose, if they do lose, if they're not getting blown out, stuff like that. So that defense is really they're really going to be the answer to if they're going to make the playoffs or not, because this defense is going to need to be otherworldly for them to have any shot to make the playoffs, because that offense is not going to give them any help. And then Edwards, the running back, he's going to have a Heisman type style performance these last 2 months into the season if they really want to have a shot of competing for a national championship.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Him and Mullins is gonna have to be the playmakers for this team because, like you said, their wide receivers are not.
We
There's
got
no
Love,
wrong. There's no
Loveland.
There's no Rome. Yeah, of course. I mean, of course, Loveland. He's the
Yeah,
top tight end coming out this
absolutely.
draft, coming next year. But that's all they got.
Yeah.
They ain't got no Roman Wilson, so it
Nah,
is
that's
what
going
it
to
is.
have to be their passing game is Loveland. So,
Mhm.
did he play last week? I'm not sure. Did he even play last week?
Yeah, he
He
had
did.
like
Okay.
four. I think he had like four catches for like 30, 40 yards.
Yeah.
He didn't really
Yeah.
do much.
Yeah, that offensive coordinator is going to need to find a way to get him the ball more, just to kind of like level it out in a sense of having some kind of balance with the play calling. Like they're going to have some real scheduled plays that go towards Levin to get him open and make it easy throws for Orgy too. So I think that's going to be a big key for that coaching staff as well for that offensive side.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, you got Kentucky went against number 6 Ole Miss.
Yeah.
They end up upsetting them 20-17.
Hmm.
For the majority of this game, Ole Miss was leading the game,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then in the fourth quarter, Kentucky took the lead.
Yeah.
Uh, Ole Miss had a chance to tie the game up. The kicker missed a 48-yard kick, which
Hmm.
ended up being sealing their fate. Kentucky ended up running the football out and winning the game.
Yeah.
Kentucky's been a tough out. They gave Georgia almost their first loss this
Hmm.
season, and Georgia ended up pulling it down. I think they beat them 13-12. So
Yeah.
that Kentucky defense is really good. Since they're giving people to, saying they've been a tough out, and Ole Miss, they kind of been in that who have they played type field. They've been blowing teams out, but they finally went against a formidable opponent in the SEC, and you saw what happened. You know, they got some things they got to work on if they want to try to make it back into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Um, but if they make the field goal, we never know what would happen. Maybe they tie it up, go into overtime, and win the game. But kicker missed the kick, and shout out to Kentucky, man, for pulling up the upset, man.
Yeah, no, that kicker didn't miss the kick. He blew that shit bad. Oh, that shit wasn't even close. Let me ask you a question, bro. Do you think, even though Kentucky does have 2 losses, do you think they should be ranked?
I don't know. I don't think so. Not right now.
Okay, okay. Um, if they were ranked, I wouldn't be mad. I think this team, as you said, this Kentucky defense is really really good. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
They went up against two prolific offenses and shut them down. Like Ole Miss was putting up 70, 80 points. Georgia,
Hmm.
we saw what Georgia's offense did to Alabama. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Even though they came on late, we'll talk about that game, but we saw the points they scored on Alabama's defense. This Kentucky defense might be all-time great the way they're looking. And
Hmm.
you know what I mean? If they can slew like a decent winning streak here, I think they have a shot to try to compete for a playoff. Just if that offense can give them anything, and I mean anything, like Kentucky's gonna win a lot of games, man, for real.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't be mad. I don't think they're ranked. I wouldn't have been mad if they were ranked, but people are gonna have to circle Kentucky on their schedule if they have them, because we all know it's not going to be an easy game for them, especially with that defense. So, but shout out Kentucky, man, for a huge road upset.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, that's a huge win for them in that program, man. Like I said, they're building something over there. That defense, man, it must be really, really good, man.
Yeah, and you know what? To say this too, typical Ole Miss shit. This is typical Ole Miss shit, where this team is highly touted, highly
Hmm.
ranked, and then they
Hmm.
give us one of these duds, and they don't know how to win
Hmm.
these games. That's always been the problem with Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. They always will get all the praise in the beginning, but when it comes to a tough game with any of his squads, they find ways to lose games rather than win. So that's a question that Ole Miss needs to answer. I know I think after the AP poll this week, I think they're like 15th or 14th or something like that. So they still have a shot to make it to the 12-team playoff. But this team has a lot of answers that I still need answered, questions that still need answered, because Jackson Dart, we see the capabilities that he does have. This offense is prolific, but these are the type of games they need to learn how to win. And they're going to have many more of these games coming up.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Number 20, Oklahoma State went against 23 K State. They lost
Yeah.
42-20.
Hmm.
Alan Bowman had 26 of 50, 364, a touchdown, and 2 picks. Those 2 picks end up being very hurtful in this game. Ollie Gordon, who was a top running back prospect coming in, enter into this class of the draft next year, had 15 carries, 76 yards. Avery Johnson, quarterback for K State, was 19-31, 259 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick. DJ Golden's had 15 carries, 187 yards, and a touchdown. And then Avery Johnson had 5 carries, 60 yards, and 2 touchdowns himself. Um, this game was pretty close in the beginning, but then in the second half, K State just pulled away.
Yeah.
It wasn't close after in
Hmm.
the second half, and like I said, those 2 picks just didn't make it any better.
Hmm.
That K State defense, their secondary is actually really good.
Hmm.
But hey, man, shout out to K State, man. K State's always gonna be a tough out. They're always gonna give people trouble. They always have been like this, even from the Bill Snyder days. So, man, shout out to K State. The Avery Johnson kid, he is a baller. The kid is a
Yeah.
baller at quarterback position. So, yeah, man, it's Oklahoma State. They always when they go against another ranked team, they always blow it. So it is what it is.
Look, like I know lately you've been saying anytime Mahomes interceptions is a guarantee right now. Yo, anytime Oklahoma State plays a top ranked team, they're gonna lose the game. I don't care if it's at home, I don't care if it's on the road, I don't care if it's in the Bahamas, on the moon. I do not care. Like they are going to find a way to lose these games because that is just the Gundy way. So I don't really have much left to say, but shout out to Kansas State, man, big win. And Oklahoma State is Oklahoma State.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, yeah, Wisconsin going against USC.
Yeah.
Uh, Wisconsin loses 38 to 21.
Hmm.
Um, it was actually USC was down.
Yeah, they were down at halftime. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they were down
down
like 24-10 or something like that.
21 to
Oh,
10.
21-10, 21-10.
They were down 21-10. Then in the third quarter, they end up getting close, making it 21-17.
Mm-hmm.
And then they end up scoring again and getting it to 24-21. And then after that, USC just pulled away and
Yeah.
they end up just winning 38-21. USC, they've been in a lot of tight games this year, man. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
tight games against, quality opponents. They were in a tight one with Notre Dame. Was it Notre Dame?
No, who they play?
LSU.
LSU.
LSU. They
LSU. Yeah,
was,
first game. First game. It was out here in Vegas. Yeah.
and then they had a tight one last week with Michigan, right?
Yep.
Yeah, with
Yep.
Michigan. So
They should
they've
have
been
won
in a
that.
lot. Yeah, they probably should have won that one too. But they've been in a lot of tight games. But it showed their resilience in the second half, and they ended up pulling away against a good Wisconsin team. And hey, man, that's all. I mean, Lincoln Riley got this team looking right. The defense has actually been playing a lot better this year. They're not the reason why they're losing these games. It's their offense. They can't really put it together when they need to, but they put it together in this game. So shout out to USC.
Look, man, USC technically should be 4-0. Like, I know it's what it could have, should have, but you know what I mean? They went into a hostile territory in Michigan, played a really good game. Look, the maturation of this defense we're seeing it. Like, yeah, they did start off slow. Wisconsin did go up 21-10, but then they were able to zero them out the whole second half. Usually, if this was USC of last year, Wisconsin is putting up almost like 50 something points. Man, we all know this. So, it just it kind of makes you wonder, man, if they had this defense last year with Caleb Williams, what would USC would have been contending for a national championship, bro. So it sucks that Caleb Williams never got the opportunity to get this defense. It sucks that his coach decided, Lincoln Riley decided it took him 2 years to decide that he needed to change defensive coordinators. It sucks, but finally they made the decision. This defense looks competent to the point where, okay, USC, we know. Look, if I had to put, obviously, eventually, I'm sure we're gonna probably hit our guarantees on who we think is gonna make the playoffs. I'm ready to book my guarantee that I really believe USC is gonna be one of the 12 teams to make this playoffs. I really have a belief in this team. Now, winning the championship, I'm not saying that, but just to be the top 12 teams, I'm really guaranteeing that I really believe that this USC team will be one of the top 12 teams to make the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad at that assessment at all. I can see that happening too. If they keep on getting these quality wins, they already got a quality win over LSU.
You got Penn State coming up, so that's
You
a
got
big
Penn
one
State
at
coming up.
USC. Mm-hmm.
You even had the committee even has to consider that they had a close one with Michigan.
Yeah.
And like I said, if they beat Penn State, then yeah, definitely.
Get to the Big Ten championship. Let's say they play
Hmm.
Ohio State. Let's say
Hmm.
that's going to be a big marquee game. So USC, like I'm telling you, man, I think they have a really strong chance of making this team because even when Penn State goes to USC, that's not going to be an easy game for Penn State. They got to go to USC and go up against USC, which with a prominent offense, because we all know Lincoln Riley offenses they're going to score 30 plus points. It's just a guarantee. And but if this defense can slow Penn State down, which I believe they can, USC is probably going to be favored in that game. So,
Yeah,
shout out to USC, man.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, Louisville went against number 15. Louisville went against number 16 Notre Dame. Um, this game, Notre Dame had pretty much handled this game for the most part. Um, they were up 24-14 at the half. Louisville tried to, they tried to cut the lead down a little bit, but Notre Dame just kept pulling away from them. And shout out to Marcus Freeman, man.
Yeah.
He's got these boys playing well. I know Ryan Clark's
Mhm.
son plays for them too. He's actually been playing really well too. So
Yeah.
um, Riley Leonard has actually looked good with this team too. So, but hey, man, Notre Dame, they looking good and they look like they have a possibility to still make the playoffs. Man, they keep racking these wins up for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, this team should have never lost to what is it, Northern Illinois? They should have never lost to that
Mhm.
team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
High praise to that coach. I know we gave him a lot of praise for getting that win, but there was no business for that team going into Notre Dame and for them to lose that game. So I'm glad Marcus Freeman is able to get these kids, back on track. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
They're playing very inspired football, and Notre Dame they still have a good shot of making being one of the top 12 teams. So obviously, I think they have a big game coming up with USC at the end of the year. That's another big
Hmm.
game for USC. So I don't know if they go to Notre Dame or USC. We'll have to look that up. But no, shout out to Marcus Freeman, man. He got the heat off his back. That's all I say.
Yeah.
He got the heat off his back. So I think he's in good standing right now.
For now.
For now.
Um, so hometown team Fresno State went against UNLV.
Yes,
Uh,
sir. Let's go.
UNLV smoked their boots 59
Not
to
even close.
14. There was big controversy, even went national to First Take and all the public
Yeah.
syndicates that, you know, Matthew Sluka, he ended up redshirting because they promised him some stuff and he didn't, sign on the dotted line. He just took it for
Hmm.
their word and they might have swindled him a little bit at UNLV. But hey, this is why
Hmm.
you have to have a good agent to see those things out.
Yeah.
But fast forward to Saturday, Hodge, Malik Williams end up getting a start. A lot of the guys rallied around him. They were speaking high praise of him, and he rewarded them by showing out. Man, my man he was 13 of 16, 182 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he also had 12 carries, 119 yards, and a touchdown. Ricky White, the third top receiver, had 10 catches, 127 yards. He had 2 touchdowns catching the end zone, and then he had a punt block return for a touchdown too. So shout out to UNLV, man. This game wasn't close from the start. It was over but when it started. Like they were all over. The defense was flying around. Shout out to that defensive line. They was manhandling Fresno State. The offensive line played great. They were just too much for Fresno State. So shout out to UNLV for rallying around, coming together as a team. Shout out to Barry Odom, Coach Barry Odom, for getting these guys ready to play after all this situation. This could have been a huge distraction, and these kids could have just gave up, just packed it in, but they didn't. They took their game to another level, and hey, man, they're ranked now number 25 in the nation. Shout out to UNLV, much deserved, man.
They should be ranked higher. I think they should be ranked higher. I think they should be at least 20. That's me. But look, man, this team showed that this team is more than just Sluka. You know what I mean? I think that's what a lot of when you looked at when you were on Twitter, you saw all these players and you saw how excited and hyped they were to see Hodge play. And look, let's be honest, Hodge is a better thrower of the football. He can do everything that Sluka did. Like no disrespect to Sluka, we appreciate you giving us those 3 wins, 3 hard-fought wins. But
Mm-hmm.
let's be real. This offense looks way better. And I get it, it's only one game. It's only one game. But
Yeah.
Yo, Haj Malik, man, shout out to you, my brother. You stepped into some huge shoes, especially with the spotlight being on this program for the first time in a long time. You know what I mean? Like, when's the last time you saw UNLV football make national news, no matter
Yeah.
what the case was? You know what I mean? Odom, shout out to Coach Odom, man. He has his program going on the rise. Congratulations to them for making that decision to stay with Mountain West. You know what I mean? I think they're striving for something bigger, but they were able to get more money for themselves in this college program. So hopefully it can help get recruits, help keep these coaches. I think one of their main priorities is to keep Coach Odom, and hopefully I know the OC. I know he has some inklings of maybe becoming a head coach, and well deserved if he gets the opportunity. Cool, but if we can find a way to keep him and give him some more bread, please do it, because his offense looks amazing with the run and shoot, run and gun, run and shoot offense. Shout out to Ricky White. You know what I mean? He had 10 receptions, 127, 2 TDs. One of the best receivers in this game. He's definitely going to be playing on Sundays. There's no question about that, man. That boy's God gifted, man. So we got a big game against Syracuse on Friday night, man. I really hope a lot of people show out. I'm still trying to go to this game. I'm still trying to figure it out. So I really want to go to that one, and definitely the Boise State game. So if we can get past Syracuse, we got a big one with Boise State. I know Boise State's ranked now. I think they're 21 or 20th right now. So we get to that game. That game will be must-see TV. That game will be prime time. I will be at that game. Both teams will be well, Boise State has one loss, but both teams will be in ranked going into that game. And it's going to say a lot of who really has the opportunity to make the college football playoff, man. So I'm so proud of this team. Las Vegas should be so proud of this team and what they represented. And, as I said, Sluka who, man, Sluka who, because this team is amazing, bro. And look, man, everybody needs to go support this team on Friday. For real, for real. This team deserves that.
Man. Yeah, for sure, man. If you're in the Vegas area, all the locals out there, man, go ahead and support UNLV, man, because they putting the team together out there.
Yeah.
Barry Odom, he's a very good coach. You know what I'm saying? I know things didn't work out when he was with Mizzou, but he's still a good coach, man. I think he's finally getting it. I think he learned a lot coaching in Mizzou. Yeah. He brought it over here to UNLV, and I think it's made him a better coach. So, shout out to Barry Odom, man.
And then also, I saw a report saying they had like a couple hundred recruits or something like that visiting the game. So hopefully all those recruits got inspired by this game, and hopefully it shows like this program can be a legit football program. You know what I mean? I know UNLV still has a lot of growing to do, especially in the football program. We used to have a prominent basketball program, which I do believe we're going to get back to that, because I do believe the basketball team will be decent this year, especially what they were able to do last year. So man, big things for UNLV, man. We need to support this team, man. This team really deserves it. I beg Vegas. I want to get to the point where Allegiant Stadium itself can get sold out for this team, because I think right now this team deserves that. This team deserves to have a sold out Allegiant Stadium, and hopefully they can open up the top barracks and get those seats filled, man. So I will be at one of these games. If not Syracuse, I for sure will be at Boise State, and definitely UNR game. So I will be there. I will represent Cris Lamar. Hopefully Cris can show up too. You know what I mean? We can figure that out as well.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Texas beat down Mississippi State. Shots stand 35-13. Arch Manning 26-31, 324 yards and 2 touchdowns. Quatravion Windsor had 13 carries, 88 yards. And DeAndre Moore Jr. had 4 catches, 103 yards and 2 touchdowns. Texas is still rolling. I know they haven't really played anybody, but you see the talent on this team, man. They got 2 quarterbacks that are probably going to be top 10, in the draft. When Quinn Evers, it's going to be interesting to see what happens when Quinn Evers is healthy. How that's going to shake out. But Arch Manning, he's looking like the true prospect, 5-star prospect recruit that everybody thought he was, and he looks way better than what he looked a week before. I just think he was a little rusty. Hadn't played, you know what I'm saying, but now it's starting to slow down a little bit more for him, and he looked way more cleaner in this game. But hey, man, shout out to Texas, man.
Yo, we're gonna really find out who Texas is about. Obviously, they had the big game against Michigan, and they really impressed at the big house. Obviously they got the bye week this week, but next week they got the Red River rivalry showdown with Oklahoma. We all know what that rivalry is about. And then the week
Mhm.
next, they got Georgia coming at home. They got Georgia coming to Texas, man. That's a huge game right there. So Georgia's gonna be motivated after that Alabama loss. So, look, man, we're really gonna find out if this Texas team is legit these next 2 weeks and where they stand amongst the college ranks, man. So I'm really excited to see those two games. And I'm really curious to see who's going to be the starting quarterback going into those two games. You know what I mean? Manning has looked amazing. He's looked everything as advertised, and we can't disrespect Ewers. Ewers has been amazing when he's been able to get the start. So, he has a tough decision to make, man. I think he'll probably side with Quinn because most players will feel like you shouldn't lose your position off an injury, especially if you've been playing really, really well. But I'm going to be kind of curious to see if any of these two games he gets off to a slow start. Does he decide to go back to Manning and see what he got?
Mhm.
So I think that's a really good thing to look at going into these next 2 weeks for the Longhorns. But man, shout out to them, man. They look like one of the top two best teams in the nation right now.
Number 17, Clemson beat Stanford 40-14.
Mhm.
Clemson has been rolling since they
Yeah.
lost their first loss. I
Mhm.
know we were dumping on Clemson, dumping on Dabo Sweeney, but it just looked like one of those things where the team just had to kind of get punched in their face a little bit just to wake up a little bit, and
Yeah.
they've actually been playing really well. On this show, we're gonna show love when we need to show love, and we're gonna tell the truth when you playing bad, man. But
Yeah.
obviously, Clemson is still very good. Now, are they a top 5, top 10 team like they used to be? No, but they're eventually. I can see them possibly sneaking into the playoffs and being one of the 10 through 12, maybe even 8 through 12 to one of those teams and
Mhm.
sneaking in and maybe getting an upset in the first their first round of the playoffs. So
Yeah.
um, shout out to Dabo, man. I gotta show him love, man. Even though he's an asshole.
Yo, man, as much shit we gave Dabo, we gotta show him some love too, man. Like, we gotta be fair. He's made this team very impressive. After that Georgia law, I said it was against Georgia week 1. That's tough. You
Yeah,
coming in, no preseason games on nothing. That's tough. That's tough to do for any team. Look, man, this week should have been the big game. This should have been, obviously we got Clemson, Florida State this week, but Florida State is so ass that nobody is even going to talk about this game. You know what I mean? They got mollywopped this past weekend. Who did they lose to by like 40 points? Who did they lose to?
SMU.
SMU. They went to SMU and got trounced. I think the score was like 40-14 or something like that. I could be wrong. Probably was worse. I don't know. But that's how bad Florida State is right now. So obviously, we're not going to get any kind of tests with Clemson and Florida State. You never know. Florida State might be up for this game to try to prove that, I'm saying you can't be SMU.
Up
You're
with
not, I don't know, bro. I'm trying to give some kind of hope to any kind of Seminoles
is
fan out there.
DJ Ukulele still
I don't think
playing?
so. Look, if he's still playing, bro, they need to go ahead and fire that coach. It's
Norvell
kind of
got to go.
Norvell got to go because that's the incompetence. You're not giving that team any kind of chance to have some kind of success to this year because DJU is just terrible. And it's kind of crazy how high they were last year, and then off that Jordan Travis injury, everything has been tumbling down ever since that Jordan Travis injury, man. So if you're a Florida State fan, I don't have no sympathy because I'm a Gator fan, so I'm actually laughing to the bank with this. So I know we ain't doing too much better, but at least we look at least respectable out there, bro. We're not losing to SMU. But anyways, man, look, man, Clemson, we're obviously they got a game coming up with Louisville that's going to come up, I think, in the next 3 weeks to 4 weeks, a month or something like that. And then obviously you got the ACC championship game, so we expect a good game coming out of that one. So what, we'll figure it out. But Clemson is heading in the right direction right now, so that's all we can say at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Number 21, Oklahoma Sooners went against Auburn. They ended
Yeah,
up beating them 27-21.
yeah.
They were actually down a lot in this game. Uh, they then in the second, it was like the fourth quarter. Uh, Auburn threw a pick six,
Mm-hmm.
got them back in the game. Oklahoma ended up taking the lead 24-21, and then they kicked another field goal, and end up going up 27-21, and they end up winning the game. That pick six ended up hurting Auburn, and Oklahoma rallied. Um, like you said, the big game for them is going to be the Texas game. They can bounce back and possibly get in the college playoff if they beat Texas. So um, I don't think it's going to happen, but you know what I'm saying? They still have an opportunity to do that. They fought a tough Auburn team. That's a tough out for anybody in the
Yeah.
SEC, but they end up prevailing and shot at the Oklahoma.
Yeah, man, I agree with DJ Ant, bro. Like Auburn choked that game off. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Oklahoma should have lost that game, but
Yeah.
they were able to find that win. It sucks for Auburn, man. That's another program we expect big things for them, but for the last couple of years, it just hasn't clicked. I do expect them eventually to get back up, but yeah, they got the big game against Texas next week, Red River Rivalry. But I'm looking at their schedule, bro. I think Oklahoma has no shot of making the playoffs because you go from Texas, then you get South Carolina, then you got to go to Ole Miss. That's going to be a tough game. Then you got your boys in Missouri. That's going to be a tough game. Then you go from Missouri to Alabama, then Bama to LSU. There is no chance I will put my entire check that Oklahoma has 0% chance to make the playoffs because they're going to come out with at least 3 losses in that streak. That's how brutal the rest of their schedule is. So if they can get through this undefeated,
they should win the national championship,
bro. They should win the number 1 seed, bro. I'm dead ass, bro. So, look, man, Oklahoma, if you can shut me up and win all those games, bro, I'm a salute and I'm a bet the house on y'all to win the goddamn national championship. Y'all gonna be better than Ohio State, better than Texas, better than Georgia, Bama, all those teams. You beat all of them. You're the GOAT because their fucking schedule is insane. It's up there with the Gators. The Gator schedule. And if anybody hasn't seen the Gator schedule, go take 5 seconds of your day and look at the end of our schedule. Our shit is ridiculous. So, man, shout out to Oklahoma, man. Y'all got some. Y'all gonna be in a lot of primetime games coming up the rest of the year. So, shout out to
y'all. Ohio State ended up beating down Michigan State 38-7. Will Howard was 21 of 31, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an INT. Emike Ibuke had 7 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown. Jeremiah Smith had 5 catches, 83 yards, and a touchdown. Same thing with Ohio State, man. Until they play somebody that's like tough, we ain't gonna know nothing about this Ohio State team. It's the same thing every year with Ohio State. They beat all the cupcakes, they beat all the mid teams, and then they go against that tough team, and it's either a close game or they get smoked.
Yeah.
So I got to see it, man. I think they're a good team because it's Ohio State. They got 5-star recruits all over the field. You should beat Michigan State. You should beat some of these low level mid teams. I want to see what you look like when you got to face the top tier team. So we gonna see.
Look, man, I don't know what Ohio State is. We know they got talent, but can they play against top tier competition? We have not seen that. I think they had the easiest schedule for the first month, going into October. Obviously, they got the likes of Oregon coming up. Then you got Penn State. Then you got Indiana, and then you got Michigan. Look, man, I'm looking at this week of when they play Oregon. I might need to call out this week because this week looks really damn good. You know what I'm saying? Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, USC. God damn. It's a lot of really good games that week, man, for real. So look, man, we're gonna find out with Ohio State, man. There's really not much left to say. You could tell they have so much talent on that team, but we really won't know until they actually play Oregon here in 2-3 weeks. So so I'll reserve my comment for Ohio State until then.
Yeah, for sure. Number 9, Penn State faced number 19, Illinois. Illinois have been getting some people up out of here, boy. But it was a close game, hard fought game. But Penn State ended up pulling it out at the end. Plus, Illinois had a late fumble that really hurt their chances of coming back. And Penn State ended up winning the game, man. And hey, man, what can you say? Penn State has been winning these big games this year. All they tough games they've been put in front of them. They've been pulling it out. Maybe this is the year that Penn State can get over the hump because that's what we always been saying about Penn State. We know they got talent. We know Penn State's always going to bring talent. It's one of the prestigious schools in college football. You can't talk about college football without Penn State.
Yeah.
But they just can never get over the hump. They can never beat the Michigans and the Ohio States. Is this the year? Is this the year you can put it together and beat Michigan? Is this the year you can put it together and beat Ohio State? And that's going to be the question with Penn State.
Yeah, man. Look, man, before they can even look at Ohio State, they got to get past the two LA teams. They got to get past UCLA, and then they got to go to USC. And that USC game isn't going to be easy at all. So, look, man, Penn State, can Coach Franklin finally get this team to have a shot to compete for a national championship? I think that's what Penn State fans have been waiting for the last couple of years with this head coach. And unfortunately, with the way things were set up, they just were always on the outside looking in. They were a couple steps away, but they can never just get over that hump to have an opportunity to compete in the playoffs. But look, man, no chance is better than this one. Obviously, with the additions of all these newer teams into the conference, it makes it a little bit more tougher. It's not going to be easy, but look, man, if they ain't going to make it this year, I don't know when they're going to make it. You actually have a competent quarterback. I do like that quarterback. I know he wasn't too impressive against Illinois, but, he did have a okay game. I do like him a lot better than what quarterbacks they originally have had the last couple of years. So we'll find out more with Penn State, but, impressive win at home against Illinois. Illinois is a tough team to compete against.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to highlight this running back from Boise State. This dude is a beast.
He should be Heisman. He should be one of the top Heisman go-getters.
Ashton Genty, I think his name is. Dude had 26 carries, 259 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
That boy's nasty, boy.
He has, on the season, mind you, they've only played, 5 games now?
He has over 800 yards rushing.
82 carries, 45 yards, and 13 touchdowns. Already.
Yeah, he might hit 2,500 yards if he keeps going at this pace.
This dude is a baller, man. And that's UNLV. You're listening. That's who you need to stop. 8 in the box and stop him. Hell, if the quarterback over 300, damn it, so be it. Don't let this dude get 300 yards on y'all.
Nah, yeah.
And shout out to his offensive line. Damn.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's talk about the. Oh, go ahead. You got something?
No, I totally agree. I totally agree with you, man. He's a beast. He should definitely be one of the top Heisman vote getters for sure. He should be up there with Travis Hunter. He should be up there with Jalen Milroy. He should be up there with everybody, man. Yeah. And if not, number one. So, shout out to him.
He's definitely the Doak Walker Award winner right now. So,
I think that vote's over. It's over. It's over. You might as well give it to him now. It's over. No one's catching that. Sorry.
All right, let's talk about the big game, man. We all know what we come here for. Georgia, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama ended up winning 41-34. Carson Beck, 27-50, 439 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 picks. Jalen Milroy was 27-33, 374 yards, 2 touchdowns and INT. He had 16 carries, 117 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And the freshman hopeful, Ryan Williams, only 17 years old, man. 6 catches, 177 yards, and a touchdown, and he was putting on a show. That kid is only 17 years old. He's out there balling. He already got scouts already talking about if he gets into the draft next year, he'd be a first-round pick. That's how good this kid is. So, also on Georgia, Arian Smith had 6 catches, 132 yards, and a touchdown. Trevor Etienne had 12 carries, 56 yards, and a touchdown. Alabama had control of this game in the first half, and then I think they let their foot off the gas.
They did. This should have been more of a dominated win.
Yeah. Carson Beck, he got a little exposed. Not even a little. He got exposed.
Yeah.
Those yards are, as Shannon Sharp would call, empty calorie yards because he was coming back. So, of course, you got to throw the football down the field. Mm-hmm. But I will say this, and this is something that irritates the shit out of me. That last play where he threw that pick, wide receivers Why don't y'all fight for the ball?
Oh, like come back for the ball? Yeah, I
Just,
don't know.
just fight for like you see that the defender got you kind of beat for
Mhm.
position. You got to play defense now. You're the corner now.
Yeah.
And it's like they just sit there and wait for the ball to come to them. And it's like if you had knocked the ball down, maybe you had another chance at it. Now I
Yeah.
do hate. Now I get it. The quarterback's trying to give their receiver a chance. The kid had been balling in that second half. You know what I'm saying? So I get you're throwing it up to your best playmaker. But I can't stand on 1st and 10 when these quarterbacks try to get it all in one play.
Yeah.
Like, man, y'all got other downs, man. You was right there.
Teachable moment.
But shout out to it was a good game in the second half. It ended up not being a blowout like we thought it was gonna be in the first half. But yeah, man, it showed that Alabama, Jalen Merrill, shout out to him, man. He's definitely a Heisman hopeful himself. He should be on the Heisman list. He had a really good game. Second half, it was a little slow, but he had that one big play that put them ahead, and he's improved under this new head coach. No shot to Nick Saban, but you could tell this guy's a little bit more of an offensive mind. So
Yeah.
you can see the more vast improvement with Jalen Milroe with under this head coach, and man, they pulled it off, man. And Alabama probably should be number one right now. So shout out to them.
Yeah, this game went from being one of the most lopsided big games in history to game of the year. You know what I mean? So I was truly entertained by this game. I agree with you. I do believe that Bama did take a foot off the pedal. I think they got a little comfortable, started making dumb decisions, started making dumb plays, start trying to run off the clock, man. Just continue playing your game, man. Who cares what the final score is? Just continue being you. I think these coaches try to outthink themselves sometimes, and I think it ends up hurting them. Do what got you the lead, and if it means running it down their throats or bombing it every fucking time, and if the score is 100 to 2, so what? I mean, it's competition. Like there's no there should be no thoughts about it. So look, man, I agree. I think Georgia and Bama, I think both of these teams are high end class teams, man. I think they'll both make the playoffs. I did like the resilience of Georgia and how they came back. Like Carson Beck, look, man, I don't see a first round pick. I really do not. I can see maybe the highest, maybe a second round pick for him. I don't think he's on the same likes of a Shador Sanders or Cam Ward or Quinn Ewers. I like both. I like all three of those guys a little bit more to me, for my taste. I think Cam Ward and Shador, I think, are clear cut the best two quarterbacks coming out in the draft. I think it's clear cut. I don't even think it's close at this point. So, but look, man, it was a great game. What can I say, man? If you were in that atmosphere, shout out to Ryan Williams, man. 17 years old, balling out like that. I can only imagine what you're going to look like in 2 years. So, you know what I mean? You could just see the depth of wide receivers across the board and what's going into this league. It's amazing, bro. So, shout out to a great game, man. It was an ultimate great game. Best game of the year so far, man. So shout out to both teams for at least displaying that, man. So, and shout out to Bama for getting the dub. And Jalen Milroe, off his performance, I wouldn't be surprised if he's a Heisman favorite right now.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, man. That's enough for the college football. Let's get into the NBA, man.
Yes, sir.
Because a big trade happened on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I was out with my lady. Shout out to my lady. I was out with her. We was eating. And I look over at the TV and I see Karl Anthony Towns in a trade talks with the Knicks. And I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. What is Maul at when I need him? Because you are an NBA correspondent.
Yes,
and
sir.
I got to know, how do you feel about this trade that it's still finalized? It hasn't really been official yet, but you're supposed to get Karl Anthony Towns to the Knicks for DiVincenzo and Julius Randle.
I actually really like it. At first, when I saw this trade, I was like, I do believe they did get an upgrade from Julius Randle, from Julius Randle to Karl Anthony Towns. I think that's a huge upgrade. I think Karl Anthony Towns is a better shooter of the ball, 3-point wise. His bag is a lot better than Julius Randle. Julius Randle just goes left. I think with both of them, I think it's the consistency in the playoffs for me with both of them. So you pretty much you still have that answer to be asked, but at least with Karl Anthony Towns, you'll have the capability of spreading the floor. With Julius Randle, you knew he was going left, and then shooting wise, it was just so inconsistent, and then he would literally just spaz out, by April, because I don't know what it is with him. But I think the one that really confused me was just the Dante DiVincenzo and how impactful he was for them in the playoffs. And I was a little bit surprised that the New York Knicks didn't at least try to see what this team looks like. But when you start listening to insiders and you're hearing things about Dante DiVincenzo possibly getting his minutes cut, that he wasn't really really too pleased about that. The Julius Randle, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson fit with that fit. I think with Karl Anthony Towns, it just fits better. The spacing will be a lot better. I think they got their answer for an extent with the center position, especially with Mitchell Robinson. I'm hearing a lot of stuff with him where he might be involved in trades. The Knicks still have a ton of picks that they have they can dispose of. So it's not really too much. They did give up one first round pick. It's a top 13 protected in 2025. So they did give up that, but I think they still have a slew of first round picks that they can still use. A couple other pieces that they could trade. I do like this a lot. I think they're up there with the Celtics and the 76ers. I think it's a three-way battle right now for who's going to be the best in the East. When you look at this starting five with Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Karl Anthony Towns, name a better starting five than that actually fits. You know what I mean? I think on the Wolves side, it's a little bit interesting. You got Michael Conley, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert. I think it's going to be a little tough for Anthony Edwards. I don't think the spacing with Julius Randle is going to be the greatest, but I think you still get some scoring out of that position, especially in the regular season. You do add depth with Dante DiVincenzo. I think Timberwolves are already deep as it is. I'm just curious to see how the fit is going forward with the starting lineup. Is there any switches made? Can Julius Randle finally be able to go to his right? Situations like that. But overall, man, I think it's a big win for the Knicks, small win for the Wolves. I'll say it like that. But I think Knicks fans should be really excited. I don't understand why people are so I saw a couple Knicks fans a little upset about it, but I'm like, you're getting an upgrade, bro. Like Karl Anthony Towns fits. I get it. Personality-wise, some people may not like him, and then you still have questions in the playoffs. But overall, I think it's a match made, and I understand the level of impact that Karl Anthony Towns and Tom Thibodeau had back in the day when he was the coach of the Timberwolves, and they weren't really seeing eye to eye. I think with Karl Anthony Towns, he has matured. I think Tom Thibodeau knows that he needs to make this work, so I don't think that should be a problem as well. But hey, big win for the Knicks, man. I believe.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. I'm going to ask you a question, man.
Yes, sir.
We're going to talk about NFL teams that are 0-4 or 1-3 that can make the playoffs.
Okay.
Hold on, let me pull this up. Give me a second. Let's go on the AFC side first. You got the 1-3 Cincinnati Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they can make the playoffs?
I think they still have a small opportunity to make the playoffs. I think with this offense, I know I was talking about mess with Joe Burrow, but this offense has still looked impressive. They are getting T. Higgins back. Brown looked really good and explosive yesterday against the Panthers. I get it. It was against the Panthers, but look, man, the Ravens, it's going to be tough, but I think they have a small percentage of a chance to make the playoffs.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you think?
Burn them to hell. No, I was playing. I wouldn't be surprised. They always start slow, and then you look up and it's freaking November, and they got a chance to win their division or at least get into the playoffs. So
I say they can't lose a game in these next 3 weeks, though. They can't lose one game. They can't lose a game. They got to go on a winning streak.
Yeah. So they can't like. I think the most they can't lose. They can only lose what? Maybe 2 more games. Maybe. If that. Maybe.
Their room for error is very small.
Small. So yeah. The 1-3. Well, yeah, the 1-3 Cleveland Browns would be 1-4 really, but you know what I mean.
There's no shot in hell they're making the playoffs. I get Nick Chubb is coming back. I saw a report saying he's back at practice tomorrow or Wednesday. So, but nah, I think it's going to take Nick Chubb a little bit to get back. And then I'm not a believer in Deshaun Watson at all, unless this defense gets back into form where they were playing last year and they can create some scoring opportunities for this offense. But until then, no, I give them a 0% chance.
They're playing tonight. They could be 1-3. They could be 0-4. The Tennessee Titans.
Respectfully, no.
Please lose so we can get DeAndre Hopkins. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here later. Look, man, I'm sorry, Titans fans. Nah, there's no way y'all making the playoffs. Sorry.
Yeah, it's over. You got Will Levis as your quarterback. Jacksonville Jaguars. They're 0-4 currently.
Oh my God. No, man. The way, especially how the coach sounded yesterday, where the reporter asked him to call plays, and he was like, players got to play better. You know what I mean? Like, he's calling out his players. Trevor Lawrence looks like a shot quarterback. It looks like all his confidence in the world is gone. Travis Etienne is already banged up a little bit. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Ryan Thomas. You know what I mean? He might be the second best. He's up there. The way he's playing, he's up there with Marvin Harrison and Malik Neighbors as far as the rookie wide receivers, man. This is a really good wide receiving crop coming out of the draft. So he's probably the only positive thing coming out of the Jaguars camp so far. But I'm gonna say no, man. 0-4 is tough, man. That's a tough way to come out.
All right, let's go to the NFC side. The New York Football Giants.
This one's tough, bro. Like, I get the Daniel Jones hate. I gotta see how if Malik Neighbors is able to come back. He's the truth, bro. Yeah. And then if Brian Burns can just show a fucking post, bro. You got traded. You did all that talk trying to get out of Panthers, bro, and you haven't shown worth a damn with that new contract, bro. You and Brandon Ayuk need to show up better. And I'm gonna be honest with you. You guys aren't really showing up, but I'm gonna say there's a small chance they could have, man. I'm not really a fan of the Cowboys. I'm not a fan of the Eagles. I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Commanders, though.
The Commanders.
Yeah, man. And then just the way the NFC is, they have a lot of injuries going on. San Francisco, LA Rams, Detroit's going through some injuries. We all see Philly, the AFC South, that can go anywhere at this point. We don't know what's going to happen, even though the Buccaneers do look impressive. I think they got a small percentage. I'm surprised I'm saying this, but they have a small percentage of a chance to make the playoffs. Throw the whole experiment away except Neighbors. Oh, my God. And no, the Nuggets can't beat the Wolves. Nuggets are not going to be. I don't think they're going to. Sorry to skip your question on the NBA.
Are you good? Peterson will be fired soon. Yeah, he'll be a consultant for the Chiefs real soon.
Bill Belichick to the Jags.
Titans just need to be tanked.
If you're the Jags, do you just fire him and then just try to hire Bill Belichick right now? Just get it over with.
Nah, you gotta let, because Bill ain't gonna come in right now.
Let him just hire him and be like, yo, just show up next year, but we're gonna hire you now, but we're gonna let old boy finish the year type of shit. Just get it out the way. Try to beat the competitiveness of competing for the negotiation. Get it over with. Start doing it now. Peterson ain't your answer. Get it over with. What do you need to see?
Is it Peterson or is it Trevor Lawrence?
I think it's Peterson. Come on, man. We seen look. I get Trevor Lawrence is not playing up to par, but he wasn't playing this bad though. Come on, man. He wasn't playing this bad, bro. He was not, bro. Stop. Hey, okay. We can agree to disagree. We can have that argument on Wednesday. You want to have that argument on Wednesday? All right, let's have the argument on Wednesday. Tune in on Wednesday. Or you want to have the argument now?
No, we have it on because I got to get all my evidence and stuff.
On Wednesday.
My numbers and stats and stuff.
For sure. All right, we'll talk about it on
Since
Wednesday.
You beat me down about Joe Burrows, I'm about to beat you down about Trevor Lawrence.
Belichick is not going to Philly, bro. He's not going to Philly, bro. Jeffrey Lurie not giving him all that power.
If anything, I can see him going to the Giants, going back where it started.
It's either the Giants or Jags for me, but I don't think I don't know. I think Brian Daboll finds a way to keep his job. I don't know why. That team is
Who's
not playing that bad. It's not.
It's not. It's not.
It's not
They
playing
played
bad.
better since week one. They've played a lot better.
They played a lot better, man.
The
Yeah.
defense is actually not playing too bad. They're kind of hit and miss, but they're not playing too bad.
I think Brian Flores is the answer for that Eagles team. They need somebody with some. They need a
Some
change of.
authority,
They need a change of like just vibes in there, man. And I
culture.
get it, culture. Brian Flores and then I think with that defense, I think they need a guy like that, bro. They need a guy like that, man. I think Brian Flores deserves another opportunity, even with all the, I still don't agree with how he handled the situation with Tua, but I think he's earned and deserved another opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, the Carolina Panthers.
No. Like I look, man. I know they had their great moment against my team against the Raiders, but look, man, this team is terrible, bro. This team is not good, bro. Deontay Johnson, he's not going to be there next year. I think he has 1 year left. He's not staying with Carolina. Their running game, like Chuba Hubbard, has looked amazing. I'm really excited to see when Brooks is able to come back and how this offense looks. Like shout out to Andy Dalton, he's made them respectable, like a team where they're going to put up some points. They're going to help out some fantasy teams and like that, but making the playoffs, nah. And they still have a lot of holes on that team, defense and offensive wise.
Get rid of the owner.
Yeah, that is one of the problems.
The Arizona Cardinals.
I think there's still a shot. I know they didn't look too good yesterday. I know they got trounced by the Commanders, but look, man, this team has fought hard in a lot of these games usually, man. And Kyler Murray, there's nothing to be slept on. Still a young team, but we all know Arizona wasn't built to win this year. So small percentage of a chance, but highly unlikely.
And last but not least, the LA Rams.
They can just get healthy, bro. This team just needs to get healthy. They need to get their receivers back, but it looks like Nakua is going to be out for another month. You might get Coop back before Halloween, so that's a plus. Kyron Williams still looks like Kyron Williams. He's been playing pretty good. Tutu Atwell, he had a decent game. And some of that offensive line still needs a little help. That defensive line, I would like to see more of it, but I think I'm never going to not give Sean McVay a chance, bro. Not Matthew Stafford. They're going to have a shot, man. They just got to get healthy.
All right, for sure. And that is all for that segment. It's time for our Bet US Surefire picks, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You go ahead.
All right, man. So I'll start off with tonight with the two NFL games. I got the Dolphins -2. I'm gonna go Team Huntley, man. I think he gonna win the game for the Miami Dolphins. He finally gonna give Tyreek Hill some smiles, man. Make Cheetah look like Cheetah again. So I got the Dolphins -2. I'm gonna take the Seahawks +4. I'm not saying they're gonna win the game, but I do think they're gonna keep it close, especially with that defense, man. The Lions haven't been too overpowering, especially with their offense. I think they'll keep it close. I could see the Lions winning though, field goal. And then I'm gonna take your boys tomorrow money line. I got them with the upset win for Game 1 against the Baltimore Orioles.
So that means they're gonna lose by 40 foot on this point.
Oh my god! Y'all don't like Huntley? Well, y'all don't like Huntley? That's crazy. He ain't that bad, bro.
He can't stand. I know. He can't stand Huntley. He cannot stand.
Why, man? Why you like Huntley?
Ever since, because that playoff game when they had the Bengals, right where they had them, they should have beat the Bengals. Yeah. Instead of my man going low,
he fumbled. Yeah, I feel you, man. But he ain't bad. He ain't bad. I put him on the same category as like kind of like a what's my man's name who got his lung punctured? What's his name?
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor. I think he's up there as far as like backup quarterbacks. Come on, man. Not the black on black bum crime. That's crazy, dog. He ain't that bad.
That's funny.
That's insane.
He can't. My man DJ N can't stand it.
Man.
All right. Where am I at? All right, I got same thing with you. I took the 2.5 with the Dolphins. I think their offense is going to flow a little bit better with Huntley. Yes, I said it. Huntley's going to play a little bit, but he's going to be better than Skylar Thompson. And Tyreek Hill will have a better game. I also took the over 37. I think he's going to go over. Yeah, I don't think the Titans. I mean, I think L'Jarius Sneed is pretty good, but their defensive line is pretty good. But I still think it's going over. So I'm going with the Dolphins 2.5. And I actually bought some points with the Seahawks, and I took it at plus 6.5. And I'm
Smart move.
taking, and I'm also taking the over in that game too. I also got some props. I took the over in 63.5 yards for David Montgomery, total rushing yards. Jared Goff over 1.5 touchdowns. Same thing with Geno Smith. And I also got that's it. That's it.
I like it. Not mad at it.
If you go to our website, see why you gotta do that? The man got a Pro Bowl, man. Leave him alone, man. Even though half of the quarterbacks was in the playoffs that year, but still, and they was
My
hurt too.
man, my man hate Huntley more than I hate fucking Kalen Clark.
Yeah, he does. If you go to any of our social media websites, you'll see the link for the Bet USA website. You go there, you click on it, you sign up. First time users only. Bet up to a minimum $100, up to $5,000. You sign up. You put the promo code Jordan125. You get 125% sign in bonus plus 10% gambler's insurance. What does that mean, Chris? You get 3 risk free bets. That means if you bet $100 and you lose on each of those 3 first deposits of $100, you you lose, you keep your money. You keep your $100, man. You don't lose it. You know what I'm saying? So, what better way to make you some money or keep your money than that? So, go sign up to Bet US and we'll make you some money.
Yes, sir.
And to the guy who went into our social media and said Bet US is horrible, go kick rocks.
He said what?
Bet US is horrible.
Who said that?
That dude in our mentions yesterday when I was posting our promo.
Ah man, come on, man. Don't talk about bet us like that, bro. What they do to you, bro? What they
He
do to
probably
you?
lost, he probably lost some money.
That's what you
Um,
guy.
all right, man. Let's talk WNBA, man. They had Aces, Liberty,
Yeah.
Connecticut Sun, Link.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me. What happened? I didn't get to watch the games. I was at work.
So I'll start off with the Aces Liberty. That was the first game yesterday. Pretty much, man. Liberty just dominated. Right off the bat. Asia Wilson started off a little slow. She was able to pick up. She was 9 of 16, 21.6 rebounds, 5 of 6, 2 blocks. Plum was 9 of 17, 24 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. She had a pretty decent game. Jackie Young was 17 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. I always expect a little bit more from Jackie Young. She's one of our best two-way players. Didn't have it. But the two big ones, I would say Chelsea Gray, she had 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. She didn't play a good game. And goddamn, Kia Stokes, can you do something? You got that big woman's body. You only got 1 board and 0 points. Like Asia Wilson needs help, especially with Jonquel Jones and Breonna Stewart. They balled out. Breonna Stewart had 34 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Anescu, another great game for her. 21 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals. And again with Jonquel Jones, she had 12 rebounds, 13 points. Man, I need Kia Stokes to give me something and to help Asia Wilson. Chelsea Gray, I do expect her to have a better game, but to me, Kia Stokes, she needs to step up, man. If not, they need to figure out a replacement for her because she hasn't done anything to me mostly this entire playoffs. Defensively, she's supposed to be one of our help defensive anchor with Asia Wilson, help get boards, and she's not even doing that. So she needs to have a big game going into game number 2. So I do expect the Aces to pull that one out. And then with the Sun, man, they surprised the Lynx, man. They were able to keep Collier only down to 19 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. I know the last couple games she had in the playoffs, she was getting about 35, 40 points. You know what I mean? I think she was averaging like 35 points or something. McBride, she had an okay game with 12 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. But, man, shout out to Lisa Thomas, man. She's a triple-double walking, man. With she didn't get the triple-double. She came close, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, man. And then her soulmate, Bonner, she had 10 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists as well, man. And then Mabry, she had a huge game. She made 6 out of 11 3-point shots for 20 points. So, man, the Sun, really great game, man. They hit my ticket. Aces didn't show me no love on my ticket, but I wouldn't be surprised, man, if both these series are tied 1-1 going into game 3, man. I think both of these series are going to be really competitive. These are the 4 best teams in the WNBA right now, man. So, but I do expect more from this Aces team and have a better start in New York tomorrow night.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Shout out to the Aces. Shout out to the Lynx, the Sun, and the Liberty. Put
Yeah,
on for the ladies, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and play Would You Rather game.
Yes, sir. So, would you rather game? This is the Jaden Daniels edition. So, I give it to my boy Chris. You will tell me if you would rather have Jaden Daniels or the other quarterback that I name. Okay? Are you ready, sir?
Mm-hmm.
You fully you know,
Hydrated. Let's go.
hydrated? You good to go? Okay. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Number one, would you rather have Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams?
Right now, Jaden Daniels. Sign me up, baby.
Why is that? Why would you rather have him
He's,
over
he's,
Caleb?
he's just playing better right now, man.
Okay, okay. Next up, number two, would you rather have Jaden Daniels or Geno Smith?
Jaden Daniels twice on Sunday, Thursday, and Mondays.
Okay. Not mad at that. Number three, would you rather have Jaden Daniels or Baker Mayfield?
Jaden Daniels.
Even the way Baker's playing right now?
Baker's playing amazing right now, but I'm going with the side of youth. He's
Okay.
just better. He's better. He's better, man.
I hear you. All right, number four. I'm gonna make it a little bit tougher. Jaden Daniels or Kyler Murray? Who you take?
Jaden Daniels, because he's 4 inches taller than him.
I'll feel you. I ain't mad at that. All right, number five. Jaden Daniels or Dak Prescott?
Jaden Daniels.
Over Dak. Okay.
Yeah.
Reason why?
Look, this is a thing called the eye test.
Yeah.
And to my eyes, I just feel like Jaden just got that it factor. He's got that thing that, and I know he's only played 4 games. I get it. It can fall fucking apart next week. Look like shit for the rest of the season, and I could be eating my words right now. But right now, you just see it in certain quarterbacks when they get on that field. The moment is not too big. The eyes are not. His eyes ain't popping out his eyeballs or whatever. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's balling. Like, he's got fully control. And shout out to Cliff Kingsbury. I gotta give the man a props because we dumped on him and made it seem like he was trash. He wasn't that good. Maybe not as a head coach, but as an offensive coordinator, dude is showing himself. And he's got Jaden Daniels playing at another level. You just see the it factor. You saw the LSU. You even saw the Arizona State. So, like I said, yeah, I'm taking Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, you're right. Jaden Daniels' completion percentage is one of the best, man. 4 game span.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, next up, number six. We got Jaden Daniels, or would you rather have Anthony Richardson?
Jaden Daniels. What are we talking about, man?
So you
If
gave up on Anthony
If Jaden Daniels was on the Colts right now,
Yeah.
he'd be undefeated, man.
Probably. So you gave up on Anthony Richardson right now.
I ain't give up on him, but he's not looking good, man. I get it. He ain't played that much football, and it's not just the play. He's injury prone, man. He's already hurt.
Trust me. I know. Look, trust me. I know from Florida days. Trust.
Yeah.
All right, next up. I'm gonna make it a little tougher. Would you rather have Jaden Daniels or Justin Herbert?
That is a tough one right there. Because I ain't gonna lie to you. Even on that bum ankle, that nigga was making some throws yesterday.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. But he also has, he lost that game against the Raiders, and he gave up that 31-point lead against the Jags to your favorite quarterback right now, currently.
Don't know what that evil on me. That is tough. I'm a slight edge Justin Herbert because I just think that once Herbert gets a full array of weapons with Jim Harbaugh, I think that the Chargers are going to be a really good team. So I'm gonna give Justin Herbert the slight edge, just the slight edge.
Ooh, you gonna give Justin Herbert the slight edge? Okay, all right. I feel like I already know this answer, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Would you rather have Jaden Daniels or Trevor Lawrence?
Man, come on, man. Come on. You just saw me talk about this fool
I know.
just a
I
few
know.
minutes ago. You gonna
I
ask
know.
a question? You know the answer to that, man. Get
I
Trevor
know.
Lawrence up out of here, man. Take his ass back to wherever he came from.
Ah, all right. So no more sunshine in your life. Is that what you're trying to
Nope,
say?
he's done.
All right.
He's dead to me.
He's dead to him. All right. So that goes Jaden
In
Daniels
football, I
out.
mean in football terms, not in real life. In
Right, right,
football terms.
right. Don't do that because then we will get investigated by the police. We do not need that.
And if you want to come on for an interview, we still
Yeah,
want you.
please, man. Shout out to Trevor Lawrence, man. You know, what I mean, shout out to Sunshine, bro. Still rooting for you, brother. All right. Number 9. Would you rather have Jaden Daniels or Jalen Hurts?
Jaden Daniels.
Why?
There's some, and maybe it's the coach. It's coaching,
Mhm.
but can I say this? I know it's been 4 games,
Mhm.
but I think what's name's a better thrower of the football, man.
Oh, Jaden Daniels is 100% better thrower of the football than Jalen Hurts.
I
Tua
think
is a
he's
better thrower of the football than Jalen Hurts. That's a
I,
fact. That's why he got replaced.
I think he's a better thrower. I just do.
Do you
I
think?
think there's certain ways. And see, I don't want to seem like I'm shot. Raven fans, don't kill me for this.
Yeah.
But I just think that there's certain ways that you got to get them to throw the football.
Mhm.
Like you can't have them doing, 5, 7-step drops and trying to throw the football. Like they play action pass, bootlegs, shit like that. Like that's when they're the best at throwing the football on the run.
Mhm.
And it's just like I think Jaden Daniels can do. I think he could do that plus the shit that Patrick Mahomes and the Herberts and the Allens do. Like I think he can sit in the pocket, scan the field, and throw that thing down the field.
I feel you. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. All right, number 10. Would you rather have Jaden Daniels or your boy, Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow.
He just beat Joe Burrow. He outcooked Joe Burrow.
He beat the defense. He didn't beat Joe Burrow.
What do you mean? What do you mean? He went into Cincinnati. Joe Burrow had a perfect game to a lot of people's credit. And he outdueled Joe Burrow.
But that ain't Joe Burrow's fault. That's the defense
That
fault.
is Joe Burrow's fault because Jaden Daniels scored more points and statistically was better than him.
How's that Joe Burrow's fault? He's going
No
stride for
matter.
stride with
Head
this
to
man.
Head to head.
He
Head
wins.
to head.
His kicker missed a kick.
Oh, we're making excuses again, huh? Making
It should've
excuses for
been-
Joe Burrow again?
His
Oh,
kicker
okay.
made a
I see
kick.
what you're doing. All right, man. You just pissed me off, dog. You just pissed me off.
I'm still
Really?
going Joe Burrow. Yep, Joe Burrows. Yep. He's been
Nah,
to us.
I'm taking Jaden Daniels over Joe Burrow, bro. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm taking
here we
Jaden
go.
Daniels over Joe Burrow.
If you're gonna
Bro,
take
Burrow ain't
him,
won no Super Bowl. What Super Bowl he win?
I didn't say he won the Super Bowl. I just said he's been there.
Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels is more athletic. He throws the ball better than him. He showcased it in his first
He got a big
year.
arm. He has a bigger arm.
He showcased it. He's accurate too. Don't say he's not accurate. He's very accurate. He has less
Thank
talent
you,
than-
Ant. Thank you.
Oh my God. Oh my God. As Chiefs fans, y'all give more excuses to goddamn Joe Burrow than you do your own quarterback. That's crazy.
That's because he.
That is
we
crazy.
don't worry. I'm gonna get into Mr.
This is why I
Mahomes.
can't
Don't even
take
worry
Chiefs
about
fans
it.
serious. This is why I can't take Chiefs fans serious. First, y'all tell me y'all hate the Bengals and y'all despise them. Then you come to the defense of their quarterback. That's crazy.
I'm just saying.
That is
It's
insane.
not. I'm just
Nah,
saying. I'm keeping it.
Y'all got it.
That should validate me a little bit more
Y'all got
because
it. Nah, they don't validate
because his
you for shit.
defense.
They don't
Because his
validate
defense
you
is
for shit.
bad.
Stop.
His
Y'all
secondary is
making
horrible.
y'all Chiefs fans look bad. Hey, I got a fun one though. I have a fun one. Jaden Daniels or Lamar Jackson? Who would you take?
I'm gonna go with Lamar Jackson. I can't do that to Lamar. He's a 2-time MVP.
Respect, yeah,
man.
respect.
My man's been doing it for a while, man. I ain't gonna do that. And saw what he did last night. When the thing about Lamar is when he's cooking, he's cooking. Like you can't take that away from that dude, man. So I'm gonna go with Lamar. But
Oh, here go the butt. What's the butt? What's the butt?
Jaden Daniels is coming.
We do all right. Let me ask you: do you agree with Damian Woody and him saying that Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in the NFC right now?
Yes.
So you have him ahead of Jordan Love?
The way I'm gonna get into Jordan Love in a minute. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna get into his motherfucking ass because he did
Yo, what
some
happened
shit.
to Jordan Love? Jordan Love was like, oh, Jordan Love, he's the next Aaron Rodgers. Now it's like, oh,
No,
he got
I'm not
hurt. What?
giving
He
up.
got hurt, and he come back first game, and everybody hates him now.
I
I
don't
get
hate
it.
him, but he did something yesterday that pissed me off.
Well, all right, we'll talk.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
All right, man.
He did something to piss me off yesterday.
All right.
That it?
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. Thank you for another game of Would You Rather. Hopefully one day I will have this sponsored, like Random News. The Chris's other favorite.
Let's talk about the MLB playoffs, man. Wild card playoffs. They start tomorrow, and my Royals are in there, baby. Woo!
Yep. That is true.
You got the Baltimore Orioles tomorrow.
Yeah, y'all do.
Jeez, what Jordan do? Oh, you gonna find out, and he did something in the fourth quarter that pissed me off.
What's your confidence level going into the Royals game?
Very high. I think we have a chance to beat this Orioles team. They got injuries. They haven't been playing pretty. They haven't been playing well down the stretch.
Yeah, we'll see.
But you also got the shout out to the homie Rob. You got the Detroit Tigers against the Houston Astros. That's going to be a tough one for Detroit. There's going to be determined for whoever the Brewers playing, whoever the Padres are playing right now. The Mets and Braves are playing right now.
Yeah, Mets won the first game, so they're getting a bid right now. They're playing game 2. I'm surprised they're playing so quick, but they're playing game 2. Atlanta's up 1-0 going into the third right now. So if Atlanta wins, they will be the 5th seed, and they will go to the Padres, and the Mets will go to the Brewers. If the Mets were to sweep, they will be the 5th seed and go to the Padres, and then the Arizona Diamondbacks will go to Milwaukee. So I feel like it's probably going to be a split the way it's going at this point.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on tomorrow's the games tomorrow?
So with Detroit and Houston, man, you always got to keep Houston's always like, they're the annoying baseball team where it's like people want to see them go, but they just always are around. So if I had to do my predictions, I predict the Houston Astros to win that series. The Kansas City and Baltimore one, I think that one's going to be really entertaining between the two. I think the atmosphere in Baltimore is going to be crazy tomorrow. I think they're itching for a World Series in Baltimore, at least win the playoff series. So I think that one's gonna be interesting. I think that can come down to the last game, but I'm gonna go with your boys. I'm gonna go with the Royals. I want to see my man Cris happy. Happy Cris is a better podcast for all of us. So we don't want to see my man down. We want to see my man active and talkative, man. We don't want him to be all down in the dumps, man. So I want to see his Royals win, man. And as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a split with the Mets and the Braves, and having the Braves go to the Padres and the Brewers going to the Mets going to the Brewers. Padres, tough team. They're playing amazing ball right now. But yeah, man, I'm excited for baseball, man. I'm excited to see. This is when I start tuning into baseball. I'll say that. What's your predictions, man? What's your predictions for these series, for the wild card series?
No, I agree with you. Like I said, I got the Astros beating the Tigers. I just think Houston's just better.
Detroit's a young team too. They gave up a lot of pieces and well. So
shout out to the Tigers though for making it, man. They was, they fought hard till the end. They even beat my Royals to get ahead of us. So shout out to them, man.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying they definitely deserve to be there. So
bright future though. Bright future though.
Yeah, for sure. As far as the Brewers, you said who? Braves will face the Brewers.
So let's go on this premise. Let's say the series is split, then the Mets will go to the Brewers and the Braves will go to the Padres. So if it goes on that round, who would you have?
I think the Mets and Brewers is gonna be interesting, man.
Yeah, that one would be interesting. Yeah,
I think that'd be interesting, man. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mets end up winning that series too.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Same thing with the Braves and even though the Padres are a really good squad.
I think they just missing a couple of their key players, man. If the Braves were fully healthy, I think they would win this against the Padres. But I think the way the Padres are playing and the confidence level that they have, I think the Padres will probably sweep whoever they play. Honestly,
Who you got in the World Series this year?
the World Series. That's a good question. I'm gonna take the Dodgers. I think they'll find a way to get Shohei into the World Series. I think they'll find
I
a way.
mean, I think baseball wants Yankees, Dodgers. That's what they want.
But yeah, they want Yankees, Dodgers. I do. I
They
know
want Judge versus Shohei. That's
they
what
want that. I think that's the money one right there. I don't think they'll be too mad at the Phillies though. You
No,
still got
no.
Bryce Harper and all that.
Mm-hmm.
On the AL side, I do think they want them Yankees, dog. I do think they want the Yankees. I really do. Am I going to take the Yankees? No, they've looked pedestrian going into these.
Yeah.
Into these. So with the AL, I'll probably take.
You like the Guardians?
The Guardians are good. The Guardians are good. Let me look at the bracket real quick. MLB bracket. Let me see. Yes, I'm gonna take the Dodgers in the NL, and then I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take the Astros. I think they'll find a way, man, to get to the World Series, man. I feel like they always do. I hate to say it. I hate the fucking Astros. I would prefer the Yankees make it fun, but I don't know. I'll say the Astros.
$20 on Padres for the NL pennant sleepers. Teams have been coming through last 2 seasons.
No, I agree with you. Phillies had a chance last year. I wouldn't be surprised if they made it either. But I think the Dodgers are the same, though. I feel like they've been overdue. They've had the best record, I think, the last couple of years. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. But with the addition of Shohei, how impactful he's been, again, they looking they're finally starting to get healthy again. Mookie Betts and all their players back. So it always comes down to pitching. Who has the hottest pitcher at the end of the day? So we'll see. You never know. The Royals might surprise. Do you think the Royals have any shot of making the World Series?
I think it depends on who they play. Like, I don't know if they, because I don't know if they get. I think they have enough. If like we beat the, I think they have enough. If they were to face the Guardians next, they could beat the Guardians. So we've done it before in the regular season. I think we match up better against the Guardian Yankees. No, even though we beat the Yankees throughout the season. I just think
even the way they've been playing the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, but even still, I mean, it depends, man. I got to see how they look with Vinny back. If Vinny's back, then yeah, we got a chance. And then our bullpen is actually looking a lot better. They're starting to figure that out. But because our starters are dope. I like Cole Reagans, Seth Lugo, Brady Singer. They've been balling. You know what I'm saying? It's that backhand to the bullpen.
I feel you. So what's your final predictions, man? Who you got making the World Series?
Bro, it's got a shot. They had those 2 bad losing streaks late. Yeah, they do got a shot. Like if we get hot, we can. It's because it's like this is almost like the 2014 season. You know what I'm saying? Like we weren't supposed to be there. Like and then they just got hot at the right time. End up winning that that wild card game, and then it was all there. And then we ran into a.
Yeah, you guys were just the buzzsaw that year,
yeah. But my predictions, realistically, I'm gonna go Dodgers. I'm gonna go Dodgers Yankees this year, man. I think that's gonna happen this year. I think and
hopefully
if they get that, that's gonna feed families for the Major League Baseball, especially if we get Judge and Shohei. And I got Shohei winning, man. I got Shohei getting that, man.
Yeah, I think if that were to happen and the commissioner Gary Bettman saw this, he might kiss you on the lips, bro.
And I'll punch him in his face.
Hey, man. Hey. Shout out to the commissioner, bro. If we predicted it, you gotta come on the show, brother. Somebody send this to him. Because he will be a happy man if it's the Dodgers and Yankees.
As a matter of fact, bump all that. Just give us some tickets to the game, baby.
Now we need some notoriety for this podcast too. We need some people on this month. I'll take tickets, but we need you to show face and give us like 10 minutes, or at least give us Shohei or Aaron Judge or somebody.
I'd rather never mind. Shut up, Chris.
Who would you rather have? Go ahead, say it.
No.
Go ahead, ruin our
I,
chances.
I, I want
Any chance
Shohei
of
Ohtani. I want anybody who wants to come on this show. That's what.
All right. I'm gonna make sure I get a Cincinnati Bengal on this show one day.
I'm intentionally walking over Ohtani every time.
Get Cam Britt on this or something.
Oh, don't let never mind. Ask him, does he like burnt toast?
Come on, man. We got to get some people on this, man. Come on, man. This ain't the Chiefs podcast, bro. You got to be sensible, man. Come on, man. Talk your shit on the Chiefs podcast, man. Got to get people on this motherfucker, man. God damn.
What? That's a legitimate question. Does he like burnt toast? That's all. Trying to be mean.
I'm sure we'll never get Caitlin Clark on this show the way I'll be ranting. So I'm not
exactly. You really ruined that.
Yeah, I really did.
Hey, I'll just get her on the Chiefs podcast. She a Chiefs fan, so I get her on there.
Is she really a Chiefs fan?
She is.
Or did she just say she's a Chiefs fan?
No, they show pictures of her and her family. They're all Chiefs fans.
No, you sure that wasn't like, employed or something?
What? No, it was her as a kid. Her brother, her father, they're all Chiefs fans. They're part of the kingdom.
Hey, you never know. She might come on. She might want to face me. You never know. She about that life. She about that life.
What you gonna do? That life, you gonna, on the show. Man, you gonna run down Caitlin Clark. Now we're gonna get
on the
canceled.
show, Caitlin. About that life. Come on the show.
Who is this guy?
I'll be respectful. I'll be respectful to her. I would. I'm still gonna say my piece though.
Trash.
No, I wouldn't say that to her.
All you do is jack up a bunch of shots.
No, that's true. It's true. I would ask her, like, why does she pout all the time? Why does she show up her teammates all the time? Why does she show up her coach? Questions like that. For sure. But that's another day, brother. That's another day. Let's
talk about it. Let's recap week 4 of the NFL.
All right, man. Let's do it.
Before this show gets canceled and flagged. So let's jump right into it. Thursday night football. We had the Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Football Giants. Dallas ended up winning 20-15. This game was super boring. Two bad teams.
Yeah.
This division is horrible. The Commanders are probably going to end up, if they keep playing like the way they play, Commanders might win this division. But it was a lot of injuries in this game. I know Malik Neighbors went out with a concussion.
Michael Parsons.
Hurt. He looks like he's not going to be playing this week. I think they have Sunday night.
Dexter
football.
Lawrence.
Dexter Lawrence got hurt.
Yeah. I think they're both not playing for at least like 2-3 weeks from what it's sounding.
But they end up pulling it out at the end, the Cowboys, and yeah. It is what it is with the Cowboys. I'm still not a believer in them. I told y'all from the beginning, this team is mid. They're mediocre. They ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, man. They still don't have a running game. It's pretty much CeeDee Lamb or bust with this team. They're out of teams. I'm sure one day we'll have a conversation on what teams need to make a trade for their team the most. I'm sure we'll have that conversation here pretty soon. Look, man, Cowboys should be one of them. They need another explosive kind of talent for that team. Will Jerry Jones do it? I highly doubt it, but we'll see. My main concern right now is Malik Neighbors. I need him to be healthy for my fantasy purposes. Man, he's been falling out. I do not need him hurt. We're going to talk about another receiver that unfortunately is hurt on my fantasy team. That made me really sad. Crazy to say, but anyways, look, man, this game was a snooze, bro. No one really cared about this game, minus fantasy purposes. If you had CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, Malik Neighbors,
put some money on it.
Yeah, or you put some money on it with all of us degenerates, all of us, all 14 of y'all watching, and us too, we're all degenerates. Let's just submit it. That's the only reason why we watched this game. Besides that, this was a snooze fest, bro. So, we can move on to the next one. Shout out to the Cowboys for winning, I guess.
The New Orleans Saints went against Atlanta Falcons. Falcons ended up winning 26-24.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Carr, 28 of 36, 239 yards, a pick. Alvin Kamara had 19 carries, 77 yards, and a touchdown. Chris Olave had 8 catches, 87 yards. Rashid Shaheed had 8 catches, 83 yards. Kirk Cousins was 21 of 35, 218 yards, and he also had a pick. Algier had 8 carries, 60 yards. Drake London, 6 catches, 64 yards, and Darnell Mooney, 3 catches, 56 yards. Um, this game was cool. It was a NFC South showdown. Not really going on offensively too much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Saints pulled ahead late,
Mm-hmm.
and then Atlanta they got that pass interference call on Darnell Mooney, and they're putting him in position to get closer to kick that field goal. And young Koo, young Koo, end up kicking the game winning field goal, and they end up pulling it out the end. Do you think Atlanta is the best team in this division?
Uh, nah, I would still probably say the Buccaneers, man. I would still say them. Look, with this team, I think with the Saints team, we're starting to see what they really are. Like I know we got hyped off the first two games that they showed, but Tyrann Mathieu, he got hurt. It looked like he gonna be out for a minute. You got Taysom Hill, he was the big importance. He got some touchdowns in the game yesterday. I think he had one or two touchdowns yesterday. He had a bruised lung, and now he hurt his ribs. So who knows how long he's going to be out. Derek Carr is Derek Carr, man. He's going to have his highs, but he's going to have his real lows too. Alvin Kamara is already banged up. I think he said he has rib problems too, and so this team is like falling before our eyes, due to the age and all that, man. So, and then the Falcons, man. Look, man, they were able to win this game. Kirk Cousins looked okay. Bijan Robinson, I still expect more. They're still not featuring Kyle Pitts. I don't know what's going on with that situation. This defense is kind of like hit or miss with the defensive line play and the cornerback play as well. So, yeah, I don't think neither of these teams are the best. I would still consider the Bucs the best.
Dang. They said Christian McCaffrey has
Yeah, I
Achilles
saw that.
tendonitis in both his legs.
Both legs. Yeah, that's just another thing that has made me more depressed about my fantasy team. Let's not get into it, but we will eventually.
Fraud alert. Yeah, the Saints got the Chiefs on Monday Night Football, so we'll see how that looks.
Yeah, especially with what y'all got going on.
Mm-hmm. Uh, this team won again. Damn Denver. Denver Broncos beat the damn Giants 10-9.
Jets.
If I told you, if I asked you what game was going to be 10-9, I guarantee you would have guessed that this is it, because both of these teams are bad. They're not good. And Aaron Rodgers continues to call out Salah. I think one day they're going to fight on the sideline. I just do. I think that somebody's going to swing a punch and it's going to go down.
Look, man. Can we all? Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Bo Nix is terrible. 12 for 25, 60 yards and a touchdown. I will give Denver this, though. Their defense has played a lot better than what I thought it was going to be.
What do you want me to say about? What do you want me to say about this game, dog? Like, real. Let's.
It was in the rain. It was in the rain.
The only thing I can say is, let's be honest. The reality is, it's more likely Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Las Vegas Raider than Devontae Adams is going to be a goddamn New York Jet. Why wouldn't the hell would Devontae Adams want to go to this fucking team? Offensive play calling is worse. This defense ain't what it used to be it is, but it's still not. It's not grand like it used to be the last couple years. You still got the same talent with Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson isn't giving you nothing. Breece Hall is, he's had his ups and downs. Aaron Rodgers hates the fucking head coach. Like, come on, man. This game was fucking ass. I don't care if it was in the rain, snow, sleet. This game was terrible. Both teams are terrible. Like, Jets, any aspirations of y'all winning the Super Bowl is not going to happen. Y'all need to just go ahead and fire your head coach. That's one of your main issues. Aaron Rodgers is already, it looks like, bro, he's ready to ask for a trade. It is, man. So, Bo Nix was not impressive. Sean Payton was not impressive. His defense was impressive. But even then, it's just like, how impressive were they when the play calling that they're getting is fucking terrible on the other end. So I don't know what you want me to say about both of these teams, but they're both terrible. Sorry to cut you off. Sorry.
No, you good. You good. Good. All right. The Minnesota Vikings went against the Green Bay Packers. The first half looked like it was about to be a smoking session. They was about to roll up the Green Bay pack because at the half they was up 28-7.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold looks amazing still. He looked amazing in that first half. But in the second half, he started he threw a pick. And what's your name? They kind of let their foot off the gas a little bit too, and let Green Bay march right back into the game. What brings me into the goddamn fourth quarter. 4 minutes left. 1st and 10. Green Bay has a chance to get back in this game. I think they were down, 31-22.
Mm-hmm.
And what does damn Jordan Love do? He just throws it into the fucking end zone. Just launches it into the end zone.
Yeah, but his receiver didn't help. Like, if you're gonna give excuses to Joe Burrow, I'm gonna give some to Jordan Love. Like, his receiver could have went up better for that ball. Like, he just fell down to the ground. He didn't even try to go after the fucking ball. Like, the fuck? Come on, man. That's why you mad? That's why you don't like Jordan Love now?
I didn't say I didn't like him. I was just mad at him on that play because I'm like, wait, you did that last year in the playoffs, man. It's 1st and 10. Live for another down. Jesus.
Look, man, look.
But shout out to the Vikings. They're for real. They are for real.
No, they for real, man. That defense had them stumped. But I get it. Jordan Love, it's his first game back coming off that knee injury, man. I didn't expect a dominant first half like that. But, the addition of Addison, you saw the addition of him making this offense way more explosive. With him pairing up with Justin Jefferson. Sam Darnold is looking like he's an MVP candidate at this point. You got to put him up there. He's been consistent. Shout out to Sam Darnold with everything he's gone through and being put in this position. I'll say this: if JJ McCarthy was their starting quarterback, they would not be 4-0. I'm gonna be honest with you. JJ McCarthy would not have y'all 4-0. I think it was a blessing in disguise. As I said it when the injury happened, like, I don't want to see him get injured, but it was best for him and for this team. Like, now you got an actual competent quarterback in Sam Darnold that you could see is making this offense go. This defense that Brian Flores has really impressed all of us. We didn't expect this kind of defense from them, but they look like one of the top 5 defenses in this league. And you know what I mean? And it gives JJ McCarthy a chance to sit behind Sam Darnold and see how things should be ran. So it's a win-win for this Vikings team. And shout out to them, man. It's been very impressive so far, especially the teams that they beat. They beat the Packers, the Niners, and the fucking Texans. So those are all playoff championship contending teams that a lot of people pick. So they're legit.
Let me ask you a question. Let's say this keeps rolling. Minnesota ends up being the number 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say at the very least, they lose at the NFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you re-sign Sam Darnold after you just drafted J.J. McCarthy in the first round? Or do you say, all right, Sam Darnold, we appreciate what you did. Go make you some money somewhere else.
It depends on what Sam Darnold wants to do. That's the question. He's the one that's going to have to answer that. Now, if I'm the Vikings, I would re-sign Sam Darnold to like a 2-year deal, like 2-year team option for the third or player option for the third or something like that. It gives enough time for JJ McCarthy to sit out another year. Me and you both said it. We don't think he's ready. He needs to sit out 1, maybe 2 years for him to actually have a legit chance to be a productive quarterback. You sign Sam Darnold. He's not going to get like a Dak Prescott type of deal, but you can give him like 35, anywhere from 35 to like 40 mil for 2 years or something like that. I don't think that's bad. You know what I mean? So I think they should, but will they? I don't know. And will Sam Darnold do it? Depending on how his open market would be up there, you would assume, you know what I mean? Depending on who can get a quarterback in this draft and who can't, because the way the draft is looking, it's looking like it's only going to be 2 transcendent quarterbacks going into the draft next year. The way it's looking, it's Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward. Like, depending on how you feel about Quinn Ewers, I don't think he's a transcendent quarterback, but can he be like one that can, be consistent, like kind of like how maybe Sean Payton believes Bo Nix is going to be one day, maybe, but Carson Beck isn't going to be a transcendent quarterback next year. Me and you have clearly said that he hasn't looked impressive. You know what I mean? So if you can't get Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, Sam Darnold's right there in the wait for a team that can't get a quarterback next year. You know what I mean? So, we'll see. I think it'll be a good market for him, depending on how well he can finish off this season and if he can continue making this happen. But if he's comfortable with the Vikings, why not stay? That's another thing too. You got to look into with his mindset. So, what do you think? What do you think they should do?
I think they should resign him. I think they should make him an offer now.
If you're Sam Darnold, would you want to resign there? Let's say you did all that and the market, the market's going to be really good. Would you want to resign to the Vikings?
Of course I would, because I'm gonna have familiarity. I have the best receiver in the league. Jordan Addison is probably one of the better number twos when healthy. Aaron Jones looks really good. Now, I know he's getting older, so I'm pretty sure you guys are going to probably draft his replacement next year.
Yeah.
And that defense is ascending. Now, the question is, if Brian Flores gets a head coaching job, how would that defense look?
That's a question. Yeah, it's a question. Like, there's so many questions that need to be asked. You know what I mean? But it's still early in the week. We're only week 4, man. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, just a little hypothetical. Darnold's going to be a Raider next year. Just kidding.
All right, bro. Y'all really want to try me today, huh? That's not happening, bro. Look at the tape, bro. Shedeur Sanders is going to be our quarterback next year. Bucket. Dion wants that to happen. Shedeur wants that to happen.
You sure Dion want that to happen? Because that's not how he said it last night on the nightcap.
Nah, man. We all know he wants to make that happen. He was just saying that because he can't talk about it. But come on, man. All the videotape shows that Shedeur wants to be a Raider, bro. Come on, man. It's more video of him wanting to be a Raider than him not wanting to be a Raider. That's a fact.
Yeah, getting Carson back.
Bro, I swear to God, you keep putting this taboo shit on my Raider team. Just wait till what I'm about to say about your goddamn Chiefs, bro. Chill.
I know you're gonna talk shit about my Chiefs.
Chill.
He does look like a Raider. I agree with that.
He fits. He want to be in Vegas, bro. He like white bitches.
Shout out to all the white women out there who watch our show.
Yeah. Shout out to y'all, man. I didn't mean to use it. My bad. Apologies.
And all the sisters out there too.
Yeah, man. Big up to the sisters, bro.
All the women out there that watch our show.
All of them worldwide.
All right. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers end up putting the beats on the Philadelphia Eagles 33-16. Baker Mayfield was amazing. 30 for 47, 347 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had a run-in touchdown. Mike Evans, 8 catches, 94 yards, and a touchdown. Chris Godwin, 6 catches, 69 yards. Jalen Hurts, 18 for 30, 158 yards and touchdowns. He had a touchdown he ran one in. Saquon had 10 carries, 84 yards. Dallas Goedert, 7 catches, 62 yards. We've been saying that this Eagles, now look, mind you, both of their receivers are out. A.J. Brown is out. Devontae Smith was out. So they were depleted at the positions. This game probably would have looked a little different if he had both of his weapons in there. I will say that. I'm not going to – this was just a bad spot for the Eagles. Tampa Bay coming off of a bad loss against the Broncos. They're at home. They want to hit the ground running. And it just showed a team who was just hungry to get back on track. They looked good the first 2 weeks, and then you hit a pitfall with Denver. It's like, nah, we got to get back on track. And that's what they did. And it was just bad for Eagles. It was a bad spot. I still think that there's something wrong with this Eagles team. Like, it's just, and I think it starts with the head coach. I'm not a fan of the head coach. I've never been a fan of Nick Sirianni ever since Shane Steichen. And I said it, Jonathan Gannon has left this team. This team has not looked the same. Mm-hmm. And I know Vic Fangio is highly touted as a defensive coordinator, but I think he lost his fastball. I don't think he's coaching good on that defensive side. And I think people have figured out his scheme. So with that being said, shout out to Tampa Bay. They look good. They're going to challenge Atlanta for this division. But the Eagles got to get some stuff fixed over there. Well, hopefully, when they get AJ Brown back, Devontae Smith healthy together, maybe this offense will look a little better. Jalen Hurts, he can't turn the football over.
Mm-hmm.
That offensive line is working through some things because they lost Jason Kelsey, and he was an intricate part of that offensive line. So they're working through that. This new guy, he's there's him and Jalen are still trying to get that chemistry and symmetry with each other, but it's mostly that defensive line ain't getting pressure like it used to, and
Yeah.
it's not looking like the old like that Eagles team that got to the Super Bowl. That defensive line was dangerous. So and it's not and it's putting a lot of pressure on that secondary, just like last year. So the Eagles are not looking right. But shout out to Tampa Bay, they went in there and they handled business, man.
Look, man, if I'm an Eagles fan, I'm not really worried about my offense. Like I get it, Jalen Hurts has been very inconsistent as far as like the turnover issue and stuff like that. But as you said, they didn't have Devontae Smith, they didn't have AJ Brown. I expect those two guys to come back after in the next couple weeks. So hopefully they can get healthy. I think they got a bye week this week or something. I could be mistaken, but I get it. With the coaching is a problem. The play calling is an issue. There is something amiss with him. Like we all know the writing's on the wall that eventually he's not going to be the head coach. So I think he's just trying everything in his manner to try to see if he can throw it on the wall, see if it's stick. Now this defense, on the other hand, there is no Fletcher Cox coming. Look, Hassan Reddick has been open to saying he will be welcome. He will welcome back a return to the Eagles. Now, would the Eagles be interested in that? And I get it.
Word is they can't do it.
Okay, well,
it's against the rules to trade a player and then
trade back. They got to wait like a year or something like that. Yeah, so I know he was a headache anyway for the Eagles with everything that was going on. But as you said, they can't even do it, so that is out the question. That just makes you even ask why you even did the trade in the first place. You know what I mean? Like we saw how we get he was a headache, but at the end of the day, he was very productive for that defensive line. So and then obviously a couple of their signings on that defensive line have not come to pass at this point. They do not look good. Jalen Carter, you know what I mean? He's been inconsistent. The cornerback situation has been very inconsistent. I know you got CJ Gardner-Johnson back, but it hasn't really looked promising as of late. The linebacker situation is pretty below average at this point, the way it's looking like. So if I had any concerns, if I'm an Eagles fan, it's definitely that defense, because at this point they can't stop nobody. I get it. They looked somewhat oppressive against the Saints, but I think that was more of a Derek Carr thing than the Eagles defensive thing. So it's really tough to read this Eagles team, man. Obviously, I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders, but at the same time, they do have offensive talent to where they could make a run in the playoffs. You know what I mean? If their defense is able to get hot at the right time, they can win some games. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up winning this division or something like that. I wouldn't, but at this moment in time, I don't know. They need a shakeup in that locker room, and I don't know where it's going to come from. You can't sit Jalen Hurts because there's nobody that can pick up what he's doing. The only thing I could think of is if they decide to fire the head coach, man, if it gets that bad. I think that's the only answer they can honestly give as far as like making a culture shock to change the direction of this team. Now, are they willing to do that? Jeffrey Lurie, I'm sure he is. You know what I mean? I think he's just finding the right time to pull the trigger, but you don't want to wait too long if you know that's the answer that's going to inevitably be.
Yeah, I agree. The Cincinnati Bengals beat the Carolina Panthers 34-24. Joe Burrow, 22-31, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Chase Brown, 15 carries, 80 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, three catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown. T. Higgins had 6 catches, 60 yards. Andy Dalton, 25 of 40, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Chuba Herbert had 18 carries, 104 yards, and a touchdown. Deontay Johnson had 7 catches, 83 yards, and a touchdown. And Xavier Leggett had 6 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Yep. At first, it looked like it was going to be a little bit of a back and forth, a little bit of a game. But Cincinnati ended up pulling away. And Joe Burrow did enough to win this game. Yep. Their running game was a lot better with Zach Moss and Chase Brown. That's kind of been their issue is that they weren't a healthy balance at first. They needed a little bit, losing Joe Mixon. What I'm saying, they trying to find that running game. Zach Moss, he's solid, but he's no Joe Mixon. Chase Brown, one of their draft picks, he was cool coming out of the draft, but he's starting to come along too. It's all about that defense, man, and
Mhm.
that defensive line is very depleted, especially against the run. Trevor Herbert had 100 yards. They're
Yeah.
probably one of the worst run defenses in the league. Like you can run all up and down Cincinnati, and that's how you beat them because they play a lot of too high safety. So you got to run them out of that, and you definitely can do that because they lost DJ Reader in free agency. So and then they're depleted with injuries at that at position too. So it's like you can run on them, but they always Cincinnati's one of those teams. They're gonna have to play with a lead. They're gonna have to play with a lead because if they don't, they're gonna have to win a lot of shootouts. So, um, Carolina. I know they played Carolina, and like we said, Carolina's looked a lot better with Andy Dalton at the helm.
Mhm.
Shout out to Xavier Leger. He got his first touchdown of the season. Deontay Johnson is looking like he's flowing a little bit better in the offense now that Andy Dalton is throwing the football. You know, Bryce Young, get the hell up out of there. But yeah, man, that's all I can. That's all I can say about this team.
Look, man, I agree with you. And what up, Joe? I see you. I see you in the chat, man. What up, bro? Look, man, with the
We'll
Bengals, I
talk
agree
about
with
it,
you.
Joe.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. With the Bengals, I agree with you, bro. They need to outscore. They need to score 30 plus points because this defense is not going to stop nobody. They couldn't even stop Durango High School at this point. If they wanted to try, like it's not going to happen. They need more production from the running game. You did see something from Brown as far as like the explosion with that. I think that would help Joe Burrow and this offense. You're finally getting T Higgins back, so that I think that's really good news. Look, with the Panthers, man, this should really just be a display of showing talent off to see what they can get on during the trade deadline. I think Chuba Hubbard should be on the trading block, especially when you get Brooks back. You're going to want to see what he can do. Put
Either
Chuba
him
Hubbard
or
up in here, huh?
I would say either him or Miles Sanders.
Both at this point. Get as many picks as you can at this point for this team because this team has a lot of holes. Adam Thielen, he should be on the block. Deontay Johnson, he should be on the block. I'm sure there's some people on that defensive side that should be on the block. So look, man, this should just be a show of talent on what you can get. Maybe you might be able to get a first or second round pick for some of these guys, depending on the positions. Look, we're gonna be talking about the Chiefs here, but look, man, Deontay Johnson right there. You know what I mean? But as I will say this during the Chiefs thing, like, look, if you're any of these teams, look, man, this is the time that if you're not going to be good, it's time to display your talent and see what you can get as far as picks. So I think that's it with the Panthers. They're not going to be a playoff team. I get it. They had the one great game against the Raiders, my team that made us look terrible, but it is what it is. And with the Bengals, look, I agree with you. I find it tough to see how the Bengals beat the Ravens. I really do find it tough. I do not see how it's going to be, especially like we just saw Derrick Henry, and we will talk about this. He's literally been the best running back the last 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. I know there's been a lot of questions with Derrick Henry and his age and can he still produce? Yes, the answer is yes. Yes, he can. So can this Bengals defense stop Derrick Henry from getting 200 plus yards? I don't know. So we shall see.
Shut up, Joe. Anybody giving you no damn 2 first round picks for no slating.
Now we'll talk about that. I'm gonna talk about the Chiefs. Now everybody's like, "Oh, Chiefs should try to trade this." All right. Good luck. Good luck.
We getting.
I'm gonna end up with Van Scantling back. That's what y'all end up back with.
No, we not. We're not getting no damn Van Scantling.
It's about to be the best y'all can do.
Anyway, we ain't there yet. We talking about Jacksonville.
Yeah, Houston we'll get there. We'll get there. Jacksonville and Houston. Let's go.
Houston beats Jacksonville 24-20 because Sunshine is a terrible quarterback. He had 18 of 33, 169 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tank Bigsby has 7 carries, 90 yards. Travis Etienne, 11 carries, 50 yards. Brian Thomas Jr., who they need to get him the damn ball. 6 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown. Christian Kirk had 7 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown. CJ Stroud, 27 to 40, 345 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cam Akers had 53 yards on 13 carries. Nico Collins, 12 catches, 151 yards, and a touchdown. Stephon Diggs had 5 catches, 69 yards, and a run-in touchdown. And then I'm not even, I think his name is Dario OG. I'm not going to say his name. 4 catches, 47 yards, and a touchdown, a game-winning touchdown, actually. Uh, this game was nip and tuck, man. You know what I'm saying? It was a little struggle for both teams offensively. But Jacksonville ended up getting a touchdown in the fourth quarter. It was a little bit of struggle then, and then finally, like 2 minutes, probably like 50 something seconds left, CJ Stroud ends up putting a 2-minute offense together. They march down the field and they score on the touchdown and end up winning this game. I don't know where Jacksonville goes from here. I really don't. Dougie P might be getting fired soon. Sunshine is not looking good. And are you concerned with the Texans and how they look?
Am I concerned?
Offensively.
I wouldn't say I'm concerned. I think there are some things with that offensive line that could be better. Laramie Tunsil did get hurt yesterday. I don't know if he came back in the game. I remember seeing him on the sideline. I'm not really too concerned, man. Obviously, they didn't have Joe Mixon in the backfield. You know what I mean? I think having that running game obviously does help. But look, man, Nico Collins has looked like the best receiver in the league next to, like, you know what I mean, Justin Jefferson. I think he has the most yards as far as receiving in the league. Stephon Diggs looks like the best slot receiver in the game right now. And then real talk, Tank Dell has been a no-show these last couple weeks. I haven't heard Tank Dell's name not once. And we know he's not bad. So do I have any worries? No, I do not. CJ Stroud, he's an amazing quarterback. The defense has been playing decently well for the most part. So they've had some hiccups, but I'm not really too worried about the Texans, man. I think they'll be okay. As far as the Jags, I think at this point, man, they might as well just go and book that team over in England, bro. That's when they play their best game, is when they're in England. You might as well move this team from Jacksonville all the way overseas and have them play, because that's when they're the greatest. They're the best team in the world when they play overseas, and that's a fact. So I'm sure they have a couple games coming up here over in the UK pretty soon. I guarantee you they will win those games, or they will look like the best football team that we've seen they could be in those 2 games. So at the end of the day, man, if I'm the Jags, this should be a sell team, and they need to figure out what they need to do for the future. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence is going to be your future. You need to figure out what you're going to do with Dougie P. As I said, I think a coaching change is going to happen soon. So, and that defense has played pretty bad. I expected more from that defense as well.
Yeah, for sure.
It could be a Brian Flores team too. This could be a Brian Flores team too. You know what I mean? If they don't get Belichick, it's another good one right there too. I agree. Man, they do kill out of their big plays. Yeah, Malik Neighbors is clearly the best wide receiver, bro. Yeah. I need my man to get healthy, bro. You need to wear one of them skull caps or something so he can stay healthy. One of them skull caps. I need my man healthy at this point. God damn, my team is falling apart on fantasy.
Pittsburgh Steelers ended up losing to the Indianapolis Colts 27-24. Justin Field was 22 of 34, 312 yards, a touchdown. He also had I want to say 95 yards and 2 touchdowns running. Chargers, George Pickens had 7 catches, 113 yards. Pat Fireman had 5 catches, 57 yards and a touchdown. Najee had 3 catches and 54 yards. Joe Flacco, 16 to 26, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. Anthony Richards, he ended up getting hurt. He was only 3 for 4, 71 yards. Jonathan Taylor, 21 carries, 88 yards, and a touchdown. This is another game that was just boring. Nothing really going on. Colts defense pretty much kept them in this game. Steelers couldn't get nothing going in the offense until late. And then by that time, when they got something going, it was just too late. It was too late. And Colts pulled ahead when they needed to, and they just played keep away. So I think I think the Steelers kind of. I mean, we already knew what the Steelers were. They got to play with the lead, and when once they get behind, it's very hard for them to get back because they don't have that type of offense. So,
Yeah.
um, you know, they're gonna have to figure some things out. You know what I'm saying? Get some other weapons involved. Darnell Washington, he looks like he's ready to break out as far as tight ends go. He had some big catches
Hmm.
yesterday. They need to get him involved in the offense a lot more because that dude, he's an athlete, and for his
Yeah.
size, that dude is huge, but he
Hmm.
can move. So I don't know if they need to go a little bit more two tight end sets with him and Fryerman, with George Pickens on the outside, and just hit it like that. But uh, their defense is always going to keep them in games. It's just can Justin Fields do enough to win them some, keep them in the ball game and score enough to win games. So
Yeah. It's so sad to see Anthony Richardson be the buffest quarterback in the world, be the most dainty one out of all of them, bro. This man just cannot stay healthy to save his life. It's getting to the point where it's like, bro, like it's becoming a real issue. I don't know what he does. I'm not saying he doesn't train in the off season, but he needs to like hit up Tom Brady, do some pliability. He need to hit up LeBron James, figure out what he does because it's getting to the point where it's scary season right now for the Colts as far as like the direction of this team and like the development of Anthony Richardson has taken a halt because of all these injuries. We seen the regression in him throwing the ball. Like I remember I saw one throw where he overthrew Michael Pittman like 5 yards in the air. Like it was bad. And like he didn't have no one around him. So I don't know what's going on. Obviously it's good to see Jonathan Taylor look like the old Jonathan Taylor again. But if Anthony Richardson cannot stay healthy, like maybe I don't think they'll ever do it. I don't think they'll ever like sit him and like maybe kind of like just recalibrate him and have Joe Flacco go out there because he looks like Joe Flacco might be their best chance to win the game. It really does at this point, just the way
yeah,
everything's looking. I'm not saying that it's the end of Anthony Richardson, that he can't develop to be a really good quarterback that we all expect him to be. But this might be the time where it's just like, all right, let's take a step back. Let's reevaluate everything as far as like way we've been training you, the way we keep up your body. Let's have Joe Flacco go out there and like let's really rest you up because there's no point of playing you if you're already hurt. If you're playing at 80%, that's not good. You can't run around and protect yourself. It's not good. So I think that's something that the Colts really need to discuss. As far as like the Steelers, I know I was talking my shit earlier on Twitter when I was watching the game. I was like, man, it's about time to see Russell Wilson because Justin Fields looks terrible out there. This offense can't score, this offense can't move, and this defense is just getting tired by the week.
we'll
But
get there in a minute, Joel. Relax.
but look, man, he did look good in the second half. He had, as you said, 312 yards passing. He ran for 55, got 2 TDs. But we all know not Justin Jefferson, Justin Fields. Look, he'll have these games here and there, but he's never consistent with throwing the football. It's going to get a point in time where I do believe they're going to have to answer, like, when is it time to see Russell Wilson? Can he show us more consistency in the throwing game? Can he get us just a couple more points for this defense to stay off the field a little bit longer and help us be able to close out these games? Because sooner or later, this defense is going to hit a wall. You kind of saw it a little bit yesterday with TJ Watt. You want to keep him upright. He has had his injury histories as well. You don't want him on the field playing goddamn 90 to 100 slaps every fucking week. You don't want that. So these are just questions that they need to answer, that Mike Tomlin needs to answer. And then I get it. They want to try to hold on to Justin Fields, but look, man, it's going to get a point in time. Can they stay consistent and score these points? Like, you know what I mean? It was just too little too late with the Steelers, with them finally being able to move the offense. So it should be interesting the next couple of weeks to see the route that they go.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you. I think they're still gonna roll with Justin Fields though, um, until he has just one of those bad games. Like once he has a bad game, then I think they put Russell Wilson in. But
But he's
until
had
then,
bad games all these until yesterday. Like he hasn't had great games. Like that's the conversation I'm surprised people don't have. Like I get it, they're 3-0, but Justin Fields has looked fucking god awful. This offense could not score, not once. When is it? I get it. I get it. You don't want to ruin the man's confidence, but what confidence does he have when he can barely get down past the 50? Like he had a great game yesterday. He does this every year. He'll have 1-2 great games to be like, oh, that's the Justin Fields that we all hope to see. But in reality, you're never going to get that consistent. You're not. So they need to make a
yeah,
decision. They need to make a choice sooner or later before this defense starts breaking down. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, because we know T.J. Watt. He's tend to have his injuries, and he tends to get hurt. So
later in the year.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Uh, the LA Rams end up losing to the Chicago Bears 24-18. Matthew Stafford 20 of 29, 220, 220, I think 9 pick. Kyron Williams 19 carries, 94 yards and a touchdown. Tutu Atwell had 4 catches, 82 yards. Jordan Whittington 6 catches, 62 yards. Caleb Williams was 17 of 23, 157 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre was Swift 16 carries, 93 yards and a touchdown. Roshan Johnson had 7 carries, 26 yards and a touchdown. Also, DeAndre Swift had 7 catches, 77 yards, and Cole Kmet had 3 catches, 33 yards. DJ Morris 3 catches, 22 yards and a touchdown.
Mhm.
This game was, Chicago's defense just did enough to beat the
Yeah.
Rams. The Rams are beaten down, man. They're down to their third and fourth string wide receiver.
Yeah.
Demarcus Robinson, Tutu Atwell.
Mhm.
Um, it's just Matthew Stafford is out there, and Sean McVay are doing the best they can with that
Yeah.
offense right
Yeah,
now.
they are. Yeah. No
You're
Tyler
down.
Higbee, I think. No
Yeah,
Tyler Higbee. Yeah.
yeah, Higby. It's just like it's easy to defend this team right now. No shot to Tutu Atwell. He's playing actually pretty good,
Mhm.
and Demarcus Robinson, he has his big catches here and there, but they're just depleted, man. And
Yeah.
it's just once this team gets healthy, maybe we'll get to see what the Rams are really made of with Puka Nakua, with Cooper Cup. Hopefully these guys can get healthy and make a really big push. But you really can't assess this. I know in the NFL everybody gets hurt. It's next man up mentality. But I heard it best last week, this morning. Uh, what you gonna do when you run out of guys? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it is what it is. We know what Cooper Cup and Puka Nakua they represent. They're one of the better 1 and 2 tandems in the receiver core out there. So
Yeah.
shout out to the Bears though. They did what they needed to do, and they got the dub. And Caleb Williams looked he looked okay. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have a great game, but they did enough to win the game, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. Um, as far as the answer Joe's question, what do I think of Caleb so far? Like, look, I think Caleb will be fine. This offensive line is pretty bad.
Horrible.
It's
His
horrible, bro.
offensive line is
It's like one of the
terrible.
worst of like all time. Like it's pretty bad. So hopefully he just doesn't get like that, David Carr syndrome. You know what I mean? Where he like hopefully he's able to survive. That's my main thing. It was good to see DeAndre Swift wake the fuck up, you know what I mean, and have a really good game and help this team out. I think it was good to have Keenan Allen out there. There was a catch where it looked like he got a touchdown, but I think it got called back by a holding penalty or something like that. So it's really good to have him out there. They have the weapons. DJ Moore, again, I'm going to say this for the third week in a row. Stop pouting and stop sitting on the end of the bench by yourself. There's a play that people want to say was Caleb Williams' fault. It was a throw in the end zone. That was not his fault, brother. That was on you because you did not run at your hardest on that play. And he admitted it. He admitted it. But it's little things like that is like, bro, you're not helping your quarterback. I get it. You want to see the numbers that you got. You got your bread. And I get it. You want to see your numbers, but if you don't go out there and play hard, you're not helping your team and you're not helping your quarterback succeed. So he needs to be more of a representation, i.e., of what Stephon Diggs has been for his team and other
Terry McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin. Like Terry McLaurin is a great example. Like he even said it. What is the point of me bitching and complaining about me not getting my targets? That does not help Jaden Daniels at this point. And you know what's happened? Jaden Daniels has finally hit his stride, and Terry McLaurin is finally excited because he has a legit quarterback. DJ Moore, you actually have a quarterback that can get you the ball. He just doesn't have an O-line. He's a better thrower of the ball than Justin Fields. You just don't want to admit that shit. Stop pouting. And that's it. And as far as the Rams go, look, man, if they can just find a way to survive the next couple weeks, I think you can get Cooper. I think they said Cooper Kupp will be back before Halloween. They say it's going to be another 2 weeks. Puka Nakua, they said it's about a month. Maybe if everything goes the best situation, he might be able to come back maybe a week earlier. But they just got to hold out. If they can be 500 going into next month and have a shot to get a wild card spot, I'm gonna take the Rams. I'm gonna take the Rams and Sean McVay if they can just stay at 500, maybe a game or one game below. because the NFC is not going to be really like that hard to try to get a wild card spot, I believe. So they just got to remain, status quo until they can get their pieces back. I said keep Kyron Williams healthy. I think that's another big key right there. Try to keep Matthew Stafford healthy. You don't want anything to happen to Matthew Stafford. So, but I think the Rams can be all right. They just got to steady the ship a little bit for a little while.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. The Washington Commanders put the beats on Arizona Cardinals 42-14. Jaden Daniels 26-30, 233 yards, one touchdown, one INT. Brian Robinson had 21 carries, 101 yards. Zacchaeus had 6 catches, 85 yards. Terry McLaurin had 7 catches, 52 yards and a touchdown. Kyler Murray was 16-22, 142 yards and a touchdown. James Conner had 18 carries, 104 yards and a touchdown. Marvin Harrison Jr., 5 catches, 45 yards and a touchdown. Look, man, this game wasn't close.
No, it was not.
It was a beat down. Jaden Daniels, he's amazing right now. He's the lead for Rookie of the Year. If he keeps on this trajectory, if they win this division, he's definitely going to be the Rookie of the Year. So this kid is rolling right now. He is, like Joel said, he is the class of this class. He is the class of this class. He is the top quarterback in this class so far. And all I can say is, man, Washington's rolling right now. As far as Arizona goes, man, they figuring themselves out right now, man. They their offense is up and down. They got to figure out ways to give Marvin Harrison Jr. the ball more. I want to see them get the running back Trey Benson involved more. I think that kid is dynamic. He was dynamic at Florida State, running and catching the football out of the backfield. So I want to see them get him more involved into the game plan. I like James Conner. James Conner still looks like he's very productive, putting up those numbers. I think that if they use the same way Detroit uses Montgomery and Gibbs, I think you could use Conner and Trey Benson the same way. So
absolutely,
I think they could open up that offense. Trey McBride is still he's a ascending young tight end in this league. Definitely still try to get him the ball. Him and Kyler Murray have a little bit of chemistry, but it's really this defense too. You know what I'm saying? Buda Baker, he's a baller. We all know what Buda Baker represents. I'm surprised Buda Baker is on somebody else's team by now, but he stood the test of times and he's their defensive leader. But yeah, man, I just think that the Cardinals are who they are. You know what I'm saying? And they got to figure some things out about themselves. I do like Jonathan Gannon, the head coach, but they still got to figure themselves out, especially on the offensive side.
Yeah, and I agree with you on the Cardinals. Like, look, man, I've said it. I think this game was an outlier. Like, I think for the most part, I think the Cardinals are going to be in a lot of games. Now, will they win those games? That's another discussion. They're still a team that's rebuilding. They got a lot of young pieces. They could also be a team that could possibly be a seller as far as like when the trade market is available. So I think that's something to watch out for. As you said, you would like to see Trey Benson get involved. Like James Conner could be a piece if they decide to like, maybe it's time to move on to him. Maybe somebody needs more explosion in the backfield. James Conner is getting a little older. You want to be able to develop Trey Benson a little bit more. That might be an option. They still have some receiver options. Maybe Greg Dortch or whoever. I would assume they would like to keep those pieces, but you never know. As far as like the Commanders, man, like, look, man, I get mad every time I watch this team. I really do. Because in reality, Jaden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury should be fucking Raiders. That's why I get mad. Every time, dog. Every time I watch the Texans, I get mad when I watch CJ Stroud because he should be in a Raiders jersey. So, like, look, man, this is just another example of why my Raiders do dumb shit the last couple of years, man. And I hate to say it, but I'm a realist, man, when it comes to this conversation. But man, look, man, I'm happy for my dad, though. My dad is a big time Commanders fan. I know he's probably doing cartwheels. I'm surprised I'm sure for Christmas he's probably going to win a Jaden Daniels jersey or something like that. Maybe we'll figure that out. But look, man, this team is looking really good, man. Brian Robinson has been looking amazing. Austin Eckler didn't even play, I think, yesterday because I think he's dealing with some injuries. Jaden Daniels, his explosion factor, he runs like Lamar Jackson, bro. Like his style is like Lamar Jackson, but he throws better than Lamar Jackson. He throws like He throws like a Mahomes. He throws like a CJ Stroud, bro. Like he can make every throw in the book. So he's very accurate with the ball. Very explosive. It's gonna make this team hard to beat. And this defense has actually been playing okay. Like obviously they've given up some major points. They gave up some big points to the Bengals and all that, but they were able to hold the Cardinals to 13 points or something like that. So man, shout out to Commanders, man. But every day I will be angry every time I see y'all succeed because it's just the reality of the situation until we can get a quarterback.
Yeah, man. We got to play this for the Commanders. Listen. Yes.
I can't hear it. Barely. Who is that? What is that?
That was their little theme song that they got on YouTube as a song. You boys can't stand us. Left hand up. Who are we? We Commanders.
I ain't never heard of that, but yeah,
You ain't
shout out
never
to
heard that song? They got a whole
nah,
theme song. You gotta pay attention.
nah.
Man.
That's how you know. That's how you know you're on the high when you start getting theme songs and shit. That's when
This
you
is
know you're
before.
on the high.
This is before. This is when they were bad. They had this.
Shout out to them, then. They stay consistent, then. Shout out to them.
The New England Patriots got the beats put on them by the San Francisco 49ers. Like, we didn't see this coming. 30-13. Jacoby Brissett, 19 of 32, 168 yards, a touchdown, and the pick. Antonio Gibson, 3 catches, 67 yards. Brock Purdy had 15 catches, or 15 to 27, 288 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Jordan Mason, 24 carries, 123 yards, 1 touchdown. Jawan Jennings, 3 catches, 88 yards. Debo Samuels, 3 catches, 58 yards. What more can we say, man? San Francisco's the better team. They put the beats on New England. New England didn't stand a chance in hell. And yeah, that's my assessment of this game. It was over before it started.
Let me ask you a question. Is it time to start Drake May?
Yes. Put the young killer in there, man.
Nah, yeah, I agree. I think it's time. I think the only thing with the Niners is like it's all about health with them. Like obviously, you just read the report of Christian McCaffrey having Achilles tendonitis in both of his Achilles, which is very worrisome. Another player that's on my fantasy team that's it's not looking good right now. But man, like it just shows you how explosive this team can be if they can find a way to get Christian McCaffrey healthy. You got Mason, you can have Christian McCaffrey. That's a 1-2 lineup. I think that's beneficial for McCaffrey to elongate his career there because now you ain't got to ask McCaffrey to run the ball 30 times. You can split the carries. I know a lot of people don't want to see that for fantasy purposes, but it could help. Or you could play them both in the backfield. You can do some situations like that where we've seen that before. And then, obviously you getting Kittle back, Debo Samuel back, and, obviously Brandon Ayuk looked better yesterday. And look, man, shout out to Brock Purdy, man. Brock Purdy has looked really, really good, man. Even against the loss against the Rams, he's looked amazing. He looks like it looks like his throwing motion is a little bit better. He seems like he's more accurate. Not like he wasn't before, but just something about it this year that just looks totally different. It seems like he's in more control of the offense, more confident in the offense. So if they could just get healthy, maybe have a chance to get Greenlaw back. I'm not really sure what the situation was that. I get it. He did tear his Achilles, and I get it was during the Super Bowl. But we have seen people come back 6 months, i.e. Cam Akers, 6 months after Achilles. So we got to see how that goes. Maybe he'd be able to come back for the playoffs or something like that if they're able to make it. But it's all about health about the 49ers. But we see the talent that they do have.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Your Las Vegas Raiders got the dub 20-16 over the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson, 24 of 32, 176 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 INT. Jerome Ford, 10 carries, 58 yards. Jerry Jeudy had 6 catches, 72 yards. Garner Minshew, 14 of 24, 30 yards. Alex Madison, 5 carries, 60 yards. Zamir White, 17 carries, 50 yards. Jacoby Myers had 5 catches, 49 yards, and Trey Tucker had 5 catches, 41 yards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you have the floor on this one, sir.
Look, man, I'm actually pretty surprised that we were able to win this game. I thought with everything that was going on, Devontae Adams out, Max Crosby out, Michael Mayer out. I just thought it would have been just too much to ask for this team to come back, especially with everything that was going on during the week. But look, all the stuff I talked about Antonio Pierce, shout out to Antonio Pierce. He had this team ready to go. And honestly, this really just shows how bad the Browns are, and just shows how bad the situation is in Cleveland. Um, and then I get it. Some people were kind of questioning the holding call that was with that Amari Cooper touchdown. You know what I mean? I know some people thought that was pretty questionable and all that, but there's really not much to talk about with this team. It's just like, look, man, I'm glad they won. I'm glad that I saw some perseverance within this team. And hopefully, as players start getting healthier, we can actually have like a little bit of a run and stay consistent. You know what I mean? Jack Jones, he sat out, I think, for most of the first quarter, and he played a little bit. So we know what that situation was about. And then some young players were able to come in and step up. Tyree Wilson, he had a decent game. His PFF rating was pretty high, depending on how you want to view PFF ratings. Some people like him, some people don't. But as far as like with the rating, they said he played pretty good, and for the most part, he did okay. Nothing extravagant. It wasn't like he flashed on the screen every time, but it was decent for what it was. So I'm happy about the win. I really am, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, man. I was surprised that you guys won this game. I thought you guys were going to lose. You're out. You don't have your two best players playing, and yeah, it was impressive that you guys squeaked this win.
Let's see if we can stay consistent. I think that's the big key. Can we get wins together? Can we keep this level of play going forward? That's always been our thing. We'll get a big win, and then we'll lay an egg. So we'll see what happens next week.
All right, this next game, I take my glasses off. I told you it was going to happen. You didn't even want to listen to me. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Mo.
What are you talking about?
I told you what was going to happen in this game. I told you. Oh, y'all going to blow them out. No, we are not.
Y'all would have blown them out if it wasn't for your funky ass quarterback throwing that dumbass pass and then blowing out your top wide receiver's knee. What are you talking about?
And we still could have blown him out. He missed touchdowns all over the field.
We all gonna have a real conversation about Mahomes.
Justin Watson, he was open for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Xavier Worthy had one in the corner he was open for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm glad he took the deep shot to Xavier Worthy. God damn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Finally, they woke up Travis Kelce.
A little bit.
My man Carson Steele, you gotta stop fumbling the football, dog. That was twice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's over for you. It's over for you, brother. It's over.
Kareem
Hunt. And Kareem Hunt looked decent. He did what he was supposed to do. I'll take whatever Kareem Hunt gave us. I'll take that. 4.9 yards a carry. Sign me up for that every time, every night. As long as you keep the running game respectful, I ain't tripping. I wasn't expecting Kareem Hunt. I wasn't expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can give us that every game, 60 to 70 yards on the ground, 4.5, 6 yards a carry, I'll take that every day, every game.
Mm-hmm.
Defense played really well. I know they were depleted. I know. But defense played well when they needed to play well. Chris Jones is still a beast. But damn it, Mahomes, you gotta stop this damn football over, man. This is getting ridiculous, man. That throw you overthrew Travis Kelce by a mile.
When y'all gonna have a real conversation about Mahomes?
What's the conversation? Well, we gotta get rid of him now.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that I think he's regressed. I think he's been regressing. He's just been saved by his defense and his coach. And he does make key throws. He does, but for the most part, he hasn't really played well.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing.
I think it's like the last 2 years he has not played well. He's not played up to the standards that people have held him to. There's been other quarterbacks that has played better than him, and people don't want to say that.
Last year was not all his fault.
It's not, but he still didn't play the level that we all expect him to play. Like he's not put up the numbers that we have seen him do. He's regressed. And on top of that, he blew out his star receiver's knee. He didn't even know what the fuck he was doing. Why? Number one, my question is, why would you, as Mahomes, put yourself in that situation where you're throwing arm shoulder into somebody's knee? You could have blew out your fucking shoulder. Smart. You got to think about shit like that. Like, yeah, I get it. You trying to make the tackle, but the way he threw the tackle, he could have hurt himself. He not only did he could have hurt himself, he blew out his number one wide receiver's knee out. So now he's out for the whole fucking year. And that's not including when he gets suspended next year. He's going to be suspended for a month. So you ain't going to see him until probably the second month of the year, if that, of next year.
Probably
so
January.
Probably. So look, man, like Mahomes, like people portray him as like this smart, great quarterback, but in reality, he does a lot of dumb shit a lot of times. Is he as smart as people really think he is? Or is it just the coach that helps him be in that smart situation?
No, he's smart. He just
You sure about that? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
He had a better second half now. We ain't gonna do that. He had a better second half.
Okay, that's cool. I'm saying, is it his head coach that puts him in that situation, or is it him?
It's him. Because a lot of time he was escaping and making throws.
I got you. Half. He's good at that. But anyways, how do you feel about?
I think. Look, hold on.
My bad. Go ahead.
I think Mahomes' problem is he's not trusting his offensive line on that left side. On the left side.
Time out. Nah. Fuck all that shit. Y'all told me this offensive line was one of the best in the league.
Interior, yes.
Ain't what y'all said.
The interior, yes. I said the interior.
Ain't what y'all said.
I've always said the interior. I've always said the interior. Right. The left side has always been a question. I had questions about the left side going into the season. I even said it when we previewed the season.
Okay.
I did.
He's supposed to be this great quarterback. Come on, man.
Now he's not great. Now he's a bum.
I'm not saying he's not great. Stop putting words in my mouth.
You just said
in my mouth. I did not say that. I did not say that at all. I'm just saying, like, the way y'all put him on this fucking pedestal, like he outsmarts everybody, he out tricks everybody. Is it really him, or is it the situation that he's in? Does he play the same way? If he's playing under goddamn my man with the Eagles, is he playing this same way? Is he if he's under Doug Peterson, is he playing this same way? Like, let's call a spade a spade. Let's be real, dog. Let's have a real conversation about Mahomes, bro. Y'all like to tell me he's the greatest quarterback of all time. I just think he's been in a great situation. I don't think he plays like this.
Name me a great quarterback who hasn't had a great coach.
That's something I have to think about right now, but we'll see. But I'm going by what y'all told me. You told me he's the way y'all talk. He's the inventor of football, right?
Okay, relax.
Right?
And nobody said
no. We're not doing this shit today. Let's be real.
I never said he was the inventor of football.
Nah, it's the way y'all talk. It's the way y'all talk. Y'all ain't got to say that. Literally, it's the way y'all talk. The way y'all hold yourselves high up. Y'all think he's the inventor of football, right?
You see that?
Right? Okay, back to back. There's been a lot of back-to-back champions. What y'all talking about? You act like he the first one that's ever done that shit. Okay, that's cool. That's cute. That's nice. Back-to-back championships. Congratulations. We all give y'all standing ovation. We saw the confetti fall. We saw that. That was last year, my G. You act like he's the first one that ever got a back-to-back championship. You act like he's the first one with 3. What we talking about?
We talking about winners over here. That's what we talking about.
All right, man. All right. You got it. Anyways, on to how do you feel about your quarterback blowing out your wide receiver's knee? What do you think?
If I was Kelsey, I would have fought him in the locker room. We would have.
Who you would have fought? Mahomes in the locker room?
Mahomes.
Who you or Andy Reid? Who do you think is fighting more?
Whoever body I can jump in that locker room and beat the hell out of Mahomes for blowing Rice's knee. I'd whooped his ass. What's wrong with you? What are you doing, man? Next man up, I guess.
So what do you see? Obviously, there's been rumors swirling that everybody and their mama should trade to the Chiefs to try to help them motherfuckers out. I find that insane. But what do you think is going to happen before I give my opinion about this shit?
I would be surprised if we get a DeAndre Hopkins or a Amari Cooper. Even though Amari Cooper and DeAndre Hopkins' contract is
very favorable
to sign for. I wouldn't. If it's going to be anybody, it's going to be one of those two guys. I see that. But what I really think is we're going to go get a Darius Slayton or go get DeMarcus Robinson because he knows the system. Yeah. That's what I think we probably end up getting.
Nah, yeah, for real, man. I like anybody that I've seen on Twitter sphere talking about like Devontae Adams, Higgins.
We're not getting
I know this is what I've been seeing. DJ Moore. I've been seeing
No.
Deontay Johnson's. I've been seeing all this
Maybe.
online. Everybody and their mom is going to be willing to give up one of their top receivers to the Kansas City Chiefs for the low. I'm like, bruh, really? Y'all really believe that shit? If you really believe that shit, I'm sorry to say it, you're a fucking fool. Respectfully. Because there is no way in mama the Raiders is going to help the Chiefs. There's no way in mama the Bengals are going to help the Chiefs. Look, the only team I've seen willing to help the Chiefs is the fucking Buffalo Bills. That's why I'm like, yo, get your boy
go get Keon Coleman.
Nah, they ain't giving you Keon Coleman. They'll give you Scantling. Scantling back, whatever his name is. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, I'm like, at this point, the Chiefs should be treated like the Lakers. They got a tax on them. If you want any of these players, you're going to have to give us premium compensation. First round picks, maybe a player, something of that magnitude. If you're really that desperate to get one of these receivers, i.e., like, why would the Browns help the Chiefs knowing they still feel like in their heart they can still maybe make the playoffs and compete? Why in the hell would they think about giving Amari Cooper to the Kansas City Chiefs? Why would maybe the outside look, maybe because of how dumb that organization is ran, maybe the Panthers would trade Deontay Johnson. But even if I'm the Panthers, I'm still asking for ransom for said player because I get it. He's only going to be on a year. I don't expect the Kansas City Chiefs to pay him, even if they were to trade for him. But that might be the only one that may happen. But besides that, I believe you. It's going to be one of these, like, you know, second, third tier kind of receivers that you might get. DeMarcus Robinson, something like that. As I said, Scanlon, he's out there. I know you hate that. I know you hate it, but, you know, something like that. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be one of these top receivers. Maybe you guys might even get somebody off your practice squad or something, or maybe it's from somebody else's practice squad. I could see, but you guys are not getting a top-notch receiver for the low. Now, if you guys are willing to give up some compensation, then maybe we can have a conversation if you guys are that desperate for it. But I just don't see it. Everything I've seen from the Chiefs doesn't scream you guys are going to go out and try to get a DeAndre Hopkins. I've never seen anything from the likes of that from you guys because I believe you guys are really confident in your system and you guys are really confident in your player, i.e. Patrick Mahomes. Now, you guys did get the other tight end. I don't know what his situation's been like. I know you were talking about him during the preseason. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him.
I know think this is a learn the system year.
Maybe, but maybe it's time for him to see what's up. You know what I mean? Maybe it's time to go into a two tight end set. I know you're trying to I know Travis Kelce ain't Travis Kelce of old, but he's still Travis Kelce. So this is his time to show that he's still Travis Kelce. So
yeah, I think that's what look, you have no choice now. You're gonna have to do what you did with Rice with Xavier Worthy. You're gonna have to rev him up.
Yeah, you got Xavier Worthy,
and you're gonna have to open him up. He's a first round pick. You're gonna have to open up the playbook for him, Andy. Not just straight down the field. No, you gotta open it up, even across the middle of the field. You know what I'm saying? You got to. And look, the running game has been working, so you're gonna have to continue to use that. You know what I'm saying? And run the football. And God damn it, Mahomes, stop turning damn football. I just beg you, man. Can we have one game without you throwing a pick?
The best case scenario for the Chiefs right now is I think they're gonna have to depend on that running game, especially when they get Pacheco back. It's gonna need to be Pacheco play action. That's what it's going to have to be. And then you're going to have to hope that Xavier Worthy knows how to run routes. That's about it. And then hopefully Travis Kelce can stay upright and stay healthy with his age. And he's able to produce at a manner that he has been these last couple of years. I've said it. I think he's slowing down. I think they were trying their best to try to hold off on him until the end of the year and use him up. But now with all these injuries, Marquise Brown ain't walking through that door anytime soon. Obviously, Rice ain't walking through that door anytime soon. And you're not getting any of these top receivers unless if it's like one of these third tier receivers. And even then, it's still going to be hard for them to get reestablished. Let's say you guys get a whole new player. Let's say hypothetically you guys do get Darius Slayton or something. I don't think it's just going to be easy as just fitting them into the system. It's not. So maybe they do talk to the Rams to see if they can get a DeMarcus Robinson. That's what I'm saying. And then honestly, as you told me before, Juju Smith-Schuster, time to step up, brother. Time to step up.
No, you're right.
You know what I mean? So yeah,
Juju's probably going to be the one that he's going to have to run those Rasheed Rice routes.
He is. He is.
He's gonna have to, because that's what Rasheed Rice initially was. He was a better version of Juju Smith-Schuster. He's a
Yeah,
way
he
better
was.
playmaker.
Yeah.
He's younger. He's healthier. Well, he was healthier,
Yeah.
but Juju's gonna have to give us some of that. He's gonna
Yeah.
have to. It is
Sky
what it is.
Moore, what's up? Sky Moore, what you got? I know you guys are over Sky Moore, but it's time.
Sky,
It's time.
Sky, go back,
It's time.
go cut Sky Moore, put him on
And
the
then
practice
obviously this makes
squad.
you question why did they get rid of my man, the one you guys had hopes for, but
Don't you mention that
what's his
name.
name? What's his name again?
Don't you ever mention his name.
What's his name again? What's his name?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Well, why not? Why not? Y'all had so high hopes for him, man. What happened to him?
Obviously, we didn't, because he's not on the team no more.
Yeah. I honestly, I've been trying to think of cats that maybe be willing to trade to y'all, like some like.
I think Tennessee will be willing, because we do have their third round. We do have a third round pick from them that they traded for L'Jarius Sneed. So we could.
If I'm the Titans, I'm asking for more than that third round pick for
give it back to
DeAndre Hopkins. I'm asking more for that.
You're not getting he's not what he.
I know he's not. I'm not saying he is, but if you're a GM and you just go in and be like, yeah, you can have DeAndre Hopkins for a third. You're not doing your job as a GM. That, to me, that's just lazy work. Like, the Chiefs should be taxed. Like, yo, you guys want to go for a three-peat? You guys want to be that team? You guys going to have to pay me a little bit more than what DeAndre Hopkins is. So, yeah, it's going to take that third and probably another pick, or maybe another kind of style player that we may need. It's going to be something like that. It's going to be a Lakers
third
tax.
and 6.
It's going to be a Lakers tax. Like, you see what the Lakers go through, and then they want to get, they're going to ask for our two first and all that, but then the same player only goes for a second. Like, come on, no. You taxing the Chiefs. I don't care what anybody says. If you a GM and you just go in and like, yeah, you guys can have them, just give us our third back or what. You're not doing your team a service at all, because you know the death. And then if the Chiefs are really asking all these teams for these receivers, you sense in the desperateness in them and how mad they need this, because they know they need it for them to win the game, to win the championship. So if they're not going asking all these teams for these receivers, then they're confident in what they got. They may try to peek and see what's up with, maybe a player like, as I said, we go back to DeMarcus Robinson or a player like that. Okay, yeah, maybe
I bet you do, Morgan.
Yes,
I bet you.
Yes. People are on my side on this conversation. They know it, except for Chiefs fans. It's a reality. But
I know we would get taxed.
Tell a lot. It's going to tell a lot. To me, it's going to tell a lot how confident the Chiefs are in their wide receiving core, with the news of how much they are asking these teams for specific A, B, and C players. You know what I mean? I think it's going to tell a lot with the confidence level.
Yeah. All right, man. The Baltimore Ravens put the beats on the Buffalo Bills, 35-10. Josh Allen, 18-29, 180 yards. Khalil Shakir had 4 catches, 62 yards. Keon Coleman, 3 catches, 51 yards. Dalton Kincaid, 5 catches, 47 yards. Lamar Jackson, 13 of 18, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 54 yards on the ground, also a touchdown. Derrick Henry, 24 catches, 199 yards, a touchdown. Justice Hill had 6 catches, 78 yards and a touchdown. This game wasn't close from the start.
No,
the Ravens took control right away. Derrick Henry ran all over this Buffalo Bills team, and his defense put a number on them. I'm honestly not surprised by this outcome, because we said this. Buffalo really hadn't played nobody. They probably should have lost to the Cardinals if Kyler Murray hits Marvin Harrison, who was wide open in the back of the end zone. They beat a bad Miami team that just wasn't ready, and a bad Jags team. They put the beats on the Jags last week. And I just think that this is what Buffalo Bills really are. This is who they really are. And now we're seeing the life after Stephon Diggs, when you don't have that number one go-to guy to go to. It's a little different, Josh. And they showed that. Keon Coleman had a couple of good catches. He had a big drop, but he had a couple of big catches, and maybe they can build on that. Dalton Kincaid, they need to figure out ways to get that boy the ball. And Baltimore was really good at stopping James, not letting James Cook get going. And that just was, and Derrick Henry was just the name of the game. They were just they couldn't tackle him, and he was just too much for him. And Lamar Jackson doing Lamar Jackson things. So shout out to the Baltimore Ravens, man. They look like they're starting to shape into form, and that they're starting to use Derrick Henry more like they should. Instead of zone reads, they're going in the I formation with the fullback in front of him. That's how you're supposed to run Derrick Henry. He's a bigger back. You know what I'm saying? He's not one of these speed backs where you can just give the ball, he one cut and go. Like, he has to get going. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So in the I formation, he can do that. You can hand the ball off, you can toss it to him, and that's all they did. You know what I'm saying? On Sunday, they just ran all over Buffalo, and shout out to the Ravens, man.
Yo, man, shout out to Derrick Henry, man. He's proving everybody wrong as far as like does he still got it? And this just makes the Cowboys look even more foolish that they did not try to get Derrick Henry, because he clearly wanted to go to the Cowboys. So imagine if Derrick Henry was at the Cowboys. I think we're having a total different conversation with the Dallas Cowboys. That 1-2-3 combination with Dak Prescott, Derrick Henry, and the play action pass to CeeDee Lamb. Oh my God, that would have been some nasty work. But shout out Joe, man. Appreciate you, bro, for watching. But look, man, I agree with you. The Buffalo Bills. These next couple weeks are going to tell me a lot about this team. Was this just kind of like, they just ran into a buzzsaw? Ravens are finally starting to find their mojo. They're finally realizing that Derrick Henry needs to get the ball 25, 30 times a game. And then it's just a bad matchup. Or is it, this is really who the Bills are? You know what I'm saying? We're going to find out a lot about this team. Obviously, we didn't think they were going to be as explosive as they were. Josh Allen is Josh Allen, so we did expect him to still play great and elevate these players. But it's going to be interesting in these next couple of weeks just to see who the Bills really are, and we're going to find out, man. So I think the Ravens are finding their niche. I still think they're one of the top AFC teams that need to be matched up with. Lamar Jackson is still going to be competing for a Super Bowl, and they're not out of it. This defense is finally starting to get the swing of things. They're starting to feel. I feel like that Ravens swag is starting to get back.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Zay Flowers has been a no-show these last couple of weeks. He hasn't really been producing as well. So, and then it's still kind of strange with the tight end situation with Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews isn't being featured as much. I don't know. Maybe they're doing kind of like what I've been kind of saying the Chiefs were kind of doing with Travis Kelce before all their injuries, where maybe they're trying to just save him into the playoffs, and then maybe they'll feature him more because they'll have more faith in him more than Isaiah Likely, because he hasn't been in those kind of situations that Mark Andrews has been. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how that develops as well. But overall, man, this team, if me personally, I think the Ravens should also be one of the teams that, if you really believe this is a championship team, start calling about some receivers, man. Make your team a little bit more explosive, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, do the same thing, man. Like, if you can pawn a DeAndre Hopkins, or if you can pawn, let's say the Raiders situation goes bad, you can get Devontae Adams or something like that if you're willing to pay the price for some of these players. You know what I'm saying? So. That I think that's another situation. Like, if you want to go for it now. You know what I mean? This is more than perfect time, because with this division, like, the Steelers they look like they were kind of like being the dominant players of but we all both know this offense wasn't going to continuously be able to keep winning if they're going to be able to, if they're going to produce like this. So you got the Bengals. We got to see how they're going to come up. No one's a big believer in the Browns. It's pretty much going to be between the Ravens and the Steelers for this division. And I'm gonna take the Ravens every time, man. I'm always gonna be a believer of this team. No offense to Mike Tomlin and his, but Lamar Jackson is him, and he's been owning this division ever since he's been a part of it. So I'm always gonna take them regardless.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're definitely a top team in the AFC. It all comes down to what they do in the playoffs, and that's always been the thing with the Ravens. I'm not worried about regular season. Ravens are always elite. It's just about the playoffs for them. You know what I'm saying? What y'all gonna do? All right, man. And got 2 games tonight. I know I picked the Dolphins and the Lions to win tonight. I think you did too, didn't you?
Yeah, I picked the Tennessee. No, I picked the Dolphins. No. Don't do that to me.
I don't know.
No bail on my system.
All right, man. Who is the best team, and who is your best performer of this week?
Hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick. I know I wrote it down. Okay, so best team, I have the Baltimore Ravens, man. They looked really good last night. They're looking like the Ravens of old. And best player, I'm with Jaden Daniels, man. He's been so impressive these last couple weeks, man, and he's got this Commanders team looking like the best team in the NFC East right now. So, I gave it to them.
Yeah, my best team is also the Ravens. It's hard not to give them the crown this week, the way they
Mhm.
played last night. But I'm gonna give it to Derrick Henry, man. He looked like old Derrick Henry. He looked like elite Derrick Henry, and he was the man of that game. He's the reason why they won that game yesterday. So,
Mhm.
shout out to Derrick Henry, man.
Yeah, shout out.
Uh, who is your worst team and worst player of the week?
So worst team, it has to go to the Jets, bro. That was pretty pathetic at home. We all expected more from this team, and that showing was pretty much the culmination of how bad it's been for this Jets team and just how apathetic this team has looked. That coaching situation is pretty bad. The quarterback coach relationships not looking too good. Hassan Reddick situation not looking too good. So yeah, it's definitely got to be Jets. And this is probably sacrilegious for me to say, but the worst player to me is fucking Patrick Mahomes. You know why it's Patrick fucking Mahomes? Because you took out my number one wide receiver on my goddamn fantasy team because your ass did not know how to throw a goddamn football and tackle a goddamn player. It's fucking Mahomes and will always be Mahomes, man. God damn it, man. Shit. Fuck. Damn.
I'm with you on the New York Jets. They look like they were the worst team in the league. Like, you lose to a Bo Nix who only throws for like 60 something yards. That's just bad. That's terrible. What are we doing? Like, ugh.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah.
As far as worst player, that's difficult. Worst player. I'm gonna give it to Bo Nix because he threw for 60 yards and still won. Like, come on, man. That's bad. He's the worst.
Yeah, nah.
And they're sitting there at 2-2. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, nah, it's bad.
Who they play next week?
Who?
The Broncos.
No, they play us. I think
They play
us.
y'all, man. If y'all
Yeah,
don't
play
give
us.
them, y'all better give them the beats.
Let me see.
Y'all lose to
Raiders.
them, I'll never forgive
We
you.
played. Hold on. Oh shit. Raiders schedule. Yeah, we play Broncos. Broncos and then and then the Steelers come out here. We go to Denver.
The homegirl D will probably be out here to watch that game.
Yeah, that's the game I'm still debating on if I want to go to.
We should try to get her on the show.
Yeah, man. Always more than welcome.
All right, man. Let's do our flowers of the week.
Yeah, flowers go to. I got two. I got a solid two. First one goes to D Rose. I know we talked about it a little bit last week, but he officially retired. So what culmination would it be, man, for flowers of the week? Not give it to Derrick Rose, man. So I'm so happy he's at peace at his decision. I still wish he could have got his ring, man. He well deserved that, man. So shout out to him, and then also shout out to him because he's one of the few that got his baby mama and his new girl to be going to Christmas together, taking pictures together. So shout out to my man, you a true G. And then last but not least, man, I got to give it to Dikembe Mutombo. Sad news today that he unfortunately passed away due to brain cancer. He was definitely a pioneer to this game, one of the best blockers, defensive players of our generation. I will always be a fond memory when they beat the Supersonics. They were one of the first teams for his seeding to go in and be the number one seed. So that was interesting as well. He's done a lot for the international game as far as like NBA in Africa and all that stuff like that. So prayers out to his family. His son, he did a little posting sharing some sharing a message about his dad. Sad day in the basketball world, man. He meant a lot to a lot of people that knew him. He meant a lot to the game, so he will be truly missed. It's definitely a big hole in basketball for real with his presence. So hopefully he's at peace. Hopefully he's up there. You can tell my grandmother, you say what up. Tell Kobe, say what up, and everybody whose family members that we know that are up there doing well. So prayers and flowers to him and his family.
Yeah, I'll repeat that sentiment as far as I got two also, but I got Dikembe Mutombo. Go ahead and give him his flowers. He definitely deserved it, man. He was one of the greatest shot blockers we've ever seen. And he had one of the greatest commercials with the dunk on him commercial. Always remember that. But yeah, man, he was definitely a legend and a pioneer in basketball, man. He'll definitely be missed. My second flowers It's a little bit more lighthearted. It goes to the greatest superhero of all times, Batman. He got a star on Hollywood Walk, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Not Superman,
Nah.
not Iron Man,
Nope.
Hulk, Spider-Man, none of them
Nope.
bums.
Bums.
Batman
Batman.
got it. That's right. Batman
Yup.
got it. So all
Church.
you other superheroes fall in line because Batman
Yeah.
is that dude. He sits on the throne right now.
OG.
So I don't
OG.
know what y'all
Sorry.
want to do, man.
Sorry.
And yes, he's a superhero. He is.
He got the most
He
money.
would have figured out. I'll tell you right now. He'd have figured out how to beat Thanos 10 different ways. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
He would have. He would have. He would have.
Yeah,
He
he
would
would
have.
have did that. So
Most money, gets all the girls,
oh,
knows all the ninja tricks, he got all the gadgets. Come
He
on,
was
man.
part of-
And
he
he's
could've-
smarter than everybody else.
he could have been in the League of Shadows, but he decided not to.
Yeah. Too good for it. Too good.
Yeah. So those are my flowers. Those are
Mhm.
our flowers, should I say. All right, man. Get your hell off.
So I got a 2-pack. I got a solid 2-pack. First one goes to Aiden Ross, the guy. You know, he's a big streamer. He's out in LA, causing a whole bunch of scene, making all these threats. You know, he's not been a big fan of Kendrick and all that, but he was going around disrespecting LA, talking about he ain't scared. You know, he do whatever he wants, and then he ended up apologizing a couple of days later because he wants to go back to LA. LA is not a place to be messing with, man. Don't disrespect other people's territories, man. You will get dealt with. Unfortunately, that's just the way society is right now and the way people handle shit. So, Aiden Ross, he's been doing corny shit for a while. If you have not watched him, don't waste your time. It's pretty much a waste. I just usually see shit that he posts on Twitter and all that, and I don't know why he posts. Like, that's another thing. Elon Musk, sell Twitter, please. You've broken Twitter so bad. But that's another discussion for another day. But yeah, so he gets my first hell no. And then the second one goes to Bootsy. Bootsy, my man. We all know his claims and how he feels about, you know, transgenders and, you know, the LGBTQ community and stuff like that. But, you know, he went on a podcast or a show or something, and, you know, he's been making comments about his daughter, who is a lesbian. You know, she dates another woman. And, you know, he pretty much said the words that he doesn't bring her around so he doesn't contaminate his other kids. And then she went and made this heartfelt post and video about how she's been feeling. And I want to send my love and prayers to her, and hopefully she's able to find her peace with the situation between her and her dad, and hopefully they can work it out. But he has to get a hell no from me, because you just don't do that to your kids, no matter whether if they're going through a transition or if their sexuality is in another space where they may love a person of the same sex, whatever. Love them for who they are. They are your kids, man. Never throw them away. Never say anything about contaminating and all that. That's not what it's about, my brothers. So he's gonna get my hell now, respectfully. At the end of the day, those are his kids, and he's gonna do what he wants with his kids, and he's gonna say what he wants to his kids. But I have a different belief in you show love to these kids, especially how hard it is in today's society for anybody that's going through some kind of transition or experimentation with their sex orientation or whatever, man. Those are scary times, man, for those people. So, you know, prayers out to her, and he gets the hell no.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm gonna piggyback because that was gonna be my hell no. It was Bootsy. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like, look, he's you know, free to feel how he feels about his kids and, you know, in his household and whatnot. But you don't have to put it out in the public, brother. You don't have to tell. You don't have to do a sit down and tell Vlad or whoever else that you sit down how you feel about your daughter and her sexual orientation. That is something that you need to keep in house between you and her, and that is y'all issue. That has nothing. We don't need to be involved in that. And you can tell that it's wearing her on her, because it ain't the first time you did it.
Mm-hmm.
You've gone around to other interviews and talked about this girl, and she's starting to feel it. She swept it under the rug, and that's the thing about the black community. We sweep things under the rug and sweep it under the rug, and then it boils over, and then something bad happens.
Yeah.
So y'all need to, you need to sit down and talk to your daughter, you know what I'm saying, and have that talk. If you haven't already, I ain't trying to teach you how to raise your children, none of that. But at the end of the day, you can see it in her face that she is feeling it. You know, I would never want to make my kids feel that way because I would never put my kids. I would never get on this podcast and be like, man, you know, unless it's just like a funny story, you know what I'm saying, about my kids did something. But if it's something serious, I ain't gonna put my business out there. And you need to stop doing that, Boots. I know you're an open book and you're very transparent, and to a certain degree, most of us appreciate that. But at the end of the day, when it comes to your kids, keep that in house, brother.
Yeah. And we got to have some growth and mentality with situations like this, man. You know what I mean? I get it. People are gonna have their own personal beliefs with situations, but it is 2024, my man. If it ain't harming you, it ain't harming nobody else. Let people do what they want to do with their lives. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be this deep, me personally, but that's just me.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. So you get the hell out.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass on.
All right. Woo, we went 3 hours today.
Man, deep. Game's about to come on.
So let's go ahead and do this. Bam.
Yes, sir. Introduce yourself to Magnet, the ultimate sports drink. Are you ready to take your performance to the next level? Do you want a sports drink that eliminates the muscle cramps and fatigue when working out or training? Meet Magnet, the sports drink designed for athletes who refuse to settle for mediocrity. I know you're asking why Magnet. It's power-packed electrolytes, and it rehydrates and restores balance with their scientifically formulated blend with magnesium that fights fatigue and boosts endurance. It has natural ingredients made with real fruit extracts and no artificial colors or flavors because your body deserves the best. It has delicious flavors like mixed fruit and watermelon that keep you revitalized and ready for action. It will boost your performance with essential vitamins, minerals. Magnet fuels your workouts, helping you crush your goals. Join the Magnet movement, whether you're training, competing, or simply staying active. Magnet is your go-to refreshment for peak performance. You can order it now on our direct link at drinkmagnet.com. Also, you can use the promo code Cris and Maul to get $5 off your purchase. So shout out to Magnet, man. Make sure you use that promo code Cris and Maul. Get a couple of them flavors, man. They all sound great, brothers. So shout out to Magnet.
Yeah, for sure. Whatever streaming platform you use to listen to your podcast, the Cris Mall podcast is available on Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio. Also, if you're a first-time watcher on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, like button, and that notification button. So when we go live on Mondays at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you could jump in the lives with us. You could talk about these topics like DJ Ant did, Jewel did today. Shout out to Morgan. They all stopped through, talked in the comments, gave a piece. We want to hear from y'all, man, because we want y'all to be a part of this show just as much as we are. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And whatever social media platform you use, whether it be X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, whatever you use to do your social media on, follow us at Cris Mall. We'll follow you back. We're just some regular guys who like to talk sports, music, movies, and various other things. So if you have a critique or you have some feedback for us, or if you have a topic or a question that you want us to bring up on the show, whether it be sports, music, movies, and we like said question, we will bring it up to the show because we want to show love to those who show love to us. So hit us up via email, DM, or mention, and we will get back to you as soon as we see said message. Also, if you want to make a donation to the Cris Mall podcast, you can go ahead and donate it at our Cash App at Cris Mall Podcast. Go ahead, whatever you feel you feel the need to bless us. We ain't begging, we ain't pressuring y'all. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to throw us a little donation to keep this podcast and upgrade certain things on this podcast, go ahead and hit us up at Cris Mall Podcast. We will greatly appreciate it. All right, good people. Until Wednesday, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. We got some good games coming on tonight, and we got the baseball playoffs starting tomorrow, and we still got WNBA playoffs. So, and if you're a wrestler, watch Raw tonight. But until Wednesday, we out.